It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic, no, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, take me higher, you take me higher, baby, take me higher, you take me higher, baby, take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the progressive news show with Let's Be S3. I am your host, Marlon, along with thee is Anna Hart, and this is live. Not a blast from the past. This is live, Saturday,
We're here.
May 6th. I had to look down at the thing to find out what it is. But May 6th, we are live. We are here. This is not a blast from the past.
Yes, happy Lyme Awareness Month. Happy Ehlers-Danlos Awareness Month. Happy Arthritis Awareness Month. May is a whole bunch of awareness stuff. And so
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Just spring has sprung in a lot of different places. The bugs are coming out. Please use bug spray. Use some kind of protection. If you need some guidance on that, head over to my channel, Borrelia, etc. I've got a whole video on it.
All right. Well, no use asking Anna how she doing, because she jumping right up in there. So, Theus?
Yeah, I can't follow none of that. Hi, y'all.
Anna done lit the show up. All right, just as y'all can see from the title, tomorrow is going to be a little more in-depth, a little more serious conversations that we have. And on top of that, we have yet another story that I have to find some type of way to talk about, of another mass shooting at an outlet mall in Texas. I don't want to discuss it right now. If anybody who's new here that watches me, I never do the news right off the bat. I've seen way too many times people get information wrong and theories wrong, and this picture winds up, the video winds up being fake, and the picture winds up being fake, and everything like that. So I give it some good breathing room to, air out the trolls and get the real information. But we are going to talk about it tomorrow. I'm going to just have to move some stuff around and see what I can do. But so either way, my point was, so that's why tonight is a more chill out night. As you can read in the what is the thing that's under the title? The insert of the show. As much as and I'm talking like this because we've blown up for new subscribers. So I honestly have no idea who's watching. If you're new to the show, welcome. I appreciate it. So if anybody that's old to the show, I apologize. I'm not trying to talk as if Marlon, we already know. Yes, you do. There's some people who don't. Although these shows are a lot of Reddit stories, we do a lot of Reddit stories on here a lot. That doesn't mean there's not going to be no politics talk. That doesn't mean there won't be any political talk, because that's what we do. We can turn a story political or social. We're just good like that. We have that skill. So
it's a specialty. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a specialty. So we could come and we could laugh at everything else, and you may look at, but I came for the political or social. Stay tuned. One of these stories usually hit it. So let's see who's already out there. Oh, also Tracy is on the way. She's running a little late, but she is coming. Tracy said, subscribe. Yes, subscribe. We blowing up to the point where we're getting darn near a new subscriber, if not 2 new subscribers a day. So it's getting there. The word is getting out. Hey, Marlon Theus, or is that Theon?
Hey, Mickey.
Sounds like a type of gas. Theon? No, that's Theus. Did Anna call Theus Theon?
I don't think I said Theus's name yet.
I don't even think so either.
Mickey, please explain. Please.
Mickey, go back to your movie. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, Parker.
What's good, Parker?
Me and Parker, this is live. We are live. I know the last couple of shows I've been watching, I'll be getting the comments of, this is just weird watching me put comments on there that I haven't put comments on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Hello, my son.
Yesterday,
son I could have had.
Called him Theon.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh.
But I'm not surprised.
We'll have to look at the...
I've never got that one, though. I've gotten a lot of variations of my name, but I ain't never got that one. I guess I look like a Leon.
I'm still getting Marlin. You don't.
Ain't nobody worried about Marlin being called Marlin.
I don't like being called a marlin. I'm not a fish.
Marlin.
I hear no difference. I'm sorry.
Marlin, and Marlon.
Well, who speaks properly? No one on this panel speaks properly. So, but I mean, it's your name. I get it. Because, you misspelled Tracy's name. She coming for you. So, I'm all right.
I'm okay if you call me Anna. Hey,
okay, if you don't know how to say Anna. Really?
But no, because you might think her name could be Anna. It could be Anna. It could be Anya.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things you can do.
How could it be Anya?
Because if you're not looking at her name spelled out and you just hear someone say Anna, you might think it's A-N-A. And then someone else who reads A-N-A might go Anya because of the tilde on the end, which is common in a lot of Latin and Spanish languages.
Yeah. It would also be more common in Russian to say Anya.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And watch how
We
quickly
can
we
take
move into social
I told you we
commentary.
could-
anything. Anything.
Yes, you both discussed the name and laughed about it.
Oh.
I must have been gone when that happened. So, ha 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 ha. I don't.
Marlon.
I'll bet none of you pronounce my real name correctly. So Mickey is not your real name.
Oh. We'll have to talk about that behind the scenes.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Is she
that.
gonna tell us her real name?
Right.
Well,
Like,
she'll probably tell us behind the scenes.
I did once tell y'all my full name is Leanne.
Yeah, it did happen once, yes.
Once, yep. Now twice.
Ivan?
Ivan.
But Ivan.
Oh, Ivan.
Or Yvonne.
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 Now that, okay, see, now I thought that was E-V-I-N. E-V-E-N.
Nope.
Nope.
That's Evan.
That's, I thought that was even.
Yes.
I've never met a person named Even.
No.
But I've met plenty of people named Evan.
Evans.
And then Ivan is just the American way of saying Yvonne, which is really the Russian or Eastern European way of saying the name.
Of John. It's the same name.
It's the same as John? Oh,
yeah.
Cool. That's
It's
their
the
version.
Slavic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Slavic John. All right. Michelina? Or Michelina? I'm not exactly sure. So from Italy.
I can't do Italian, so I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Michelina. And let me know how I did.
And while we wait on Survey Say, let's get this party started. We caught you this time. So let's go ahead and get the serious one out of the way. And the only reason I really want to play this video is because I'm not saying I grew up with this this thought process. I didn't grow up with it being on the other side. You know, I grew up poor, so I understood the thought process of doing this. But this is looking at the same concept from a different economical standpoint. I let my husband cheat on me.
My husband, who's 28, is wealthy, and he's providing me, a 30-year-old woman, with a great life while I'm studying. I would have never been able to afford it otherwise. As a matter of fact, I was a barista before I met him, and I didn't even dare to dream about starting college. Now, I'm in engineering school, and he pays for everything. We have a great house. I don't need to do anything but study and have fun. His best friend from college, a 27-year-old woman, separated from her common-law husband after he cheated on her. She had no place to go, and we have a guest house. I never had anything to worry about with them because they've known each other for ages. I always thought that if they wanted to, it would have happened already, but I was mistaken. I started having a hunch because of nothing in particular. I just felt that they had changed with each other somehow, so I snuck in on them after pretending to go to my mom's. Nobody knows that I know. Afterwards, I couldn't let him touch me for 2 months, blaming it on stress from school. Now we do passionately hug because I don't want him to suspect me or get tired of me. I cried the first time that he touched me after I found out, and I wanted to vomit, but I blamed it on stress. Now, I just let him. I try to think about other things and try to convince myself that it's just passionate hugging. I fake it sometimes when he notices me being absent-minded and starts saying, "Baby, come back to me." I'm in a race with time to finish school before he throws me aside for her. I also had an IUD inserted without telling him. Nobody knows, not even my closest friends. Everyone thinks I'm the luckiest woman on earth, that I'm so loved and cherished by an amazing, successful husband. Nobody knows that I cry myself to sleep every night.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
Tracy. So, like I'm saying, so maybe my what I said at the beginning would make more sense. I've seen it from my economical standpoint of people staying together surely because of economics.
Right.
Surely for that sole purpose of economics. It wasn't love, it wasn't caring, it wasn't anything other than the cheaper the keeper type thing, guys and gals. So, but I saw it from that point. So when I heard this story, I thought, okay, I can see it from that point of view. Like the serious, the worst type of fake it till you make it, because sister just pretty much saying as soon as she graduates and get a job, she out. But she can't pull that trigger right now because it's not in her best interest.
It's not to her convenience.
No, it's
different.
Right.
No. So she's literally
she could talk to him. You know, the person that she chose as a husband and life partner.
They obviously view this in the contractual sense. So, and this is why, you know, jump a little bit of a tangent here. I wasn't even really going to say much about this one, but this is one of the reasons I get so annoyed. I don't get angry because it ain't got nothing to do with me, but I get annoyed with social media commentary where, and it comes from, this particular point comes from the women on social media who equate all things in a relationship to financial. And like I try to tell them, look, that's fine if that's how you roll. Just make sure you're ready for everything that comes with that. Because if I know the reason you're with me is because of my financial ability, then you become a commodity. And once I can get something better for the same money, then I'll switch you out and I'll get something better. Like, because this is a business transaction. And that's kind of what the lady in the story is kind of hinting at, is she's concerned that that's how he's going to view it, right? She doesn't bring anything to it financially. She values things based on finances. He obviously doesn't value her as a partner. And then so she's like, as soon as he's tired of me, he'll switch me out and he'll, you know, get something else. Well, if you're willing to do this on a contractual basis, because I feel no compassion for this woman. I just don't. And the reason why I don't is because she even said, I'm staying because of what I can get out of him. And then once I can get what I need, I'll leave him.
No.
So she's not operating on principle. She's operating on what she wants to accomplish.
Yeah,
and then further, and just my last little piece of it, further with that, your sense of protecting yourself, which is a good point, but it's still stupid to me. You went and got an IUD so that you don't get pregnant, as though pregnancy is the worst thing that you stand to gain to end up with a partner who is sleeping with other people. I just don't get that mentality. I don't get it when dudes say it. Like guys would say, well, I want a woman who, you know, she already had a C-section or not a C-section. She'd already had a hysterectomy,
the tubes tied, or
a tubes tied or something like that, because then I could shoot the club up. Like the worst thing that you can end up with as a kid, that stuff that'll kill you, cripple you, mess you all kind of ways up, and not to mention the damage you can do to other people. But that's the extent of your thought process here. So like this lady to me is toxic. She shouldn't be in that relationship with that man. I know that the tendency is going to be, look at him. He doesn't respect her. and all of that. And maybe that's
I
true.
heard a lot of respect.
No, I mean,
from
doesn't
him.
respect her, meaning that you're in a marriage with this woman and you bring your friend to move into your house and now are involved with your friend. That is not respecting her, right? That's severe disrespect. But that's like, it's wrong, but she's literally using him. So we got two bad guys in one story to me.
Sorry, I missed the part that he brought the 27-year-old into the house.
Yep.
Which
moved her into the guest house.
By the way, which is real funny. So the 27-year-old that he brought in left her husband because the husband was cheating.
Right.
So you're gonna go and move in to cheat.
Well, that part actually makes sense.
We don't know. I mean,
no, that part makes sense.
How would that part make sense?
The way it makes sense is you got two people who are in a relationship, okay? And then one of them gets cheated on. So the one who gets cheated on, their whole world just got turned upside down, right? Whatever role they played in making a bad relationship, because I don't ever let both people off, but whatever role they played in making a bad relationship, secondary. Fact is, their partner cheated. So now this person has lost that symbol of their life, and now they have to go build a new life. Oftentimes, the person who gets cheated on wants a little bit of vindication, a little bit of get back. So then they go cheat. So it really makes sense that the woman that's left the husband who cheated on her then goes somewhere else and cheats. And then if she's that type of person who never really thought about being a cheater, now she's in a close proximity to someone that she knows, trusts, and has a strong relationship with. It makes cheating even easier. So, yeah, this is just one big toxic mess that you have shared with us today.
Was there ever confirmation in some kind of way that the best friends were actually having a relationship?
She called them. She said she snuck back in the house and she caught them.
She caught them. Okay.
And they didn't
Sorry,
know.
my mind is piecing this all together. Like, yeah, girl, you never learned to love yourself. Get out.
Well, she's garbage too. I'm just
I'm steady sitting here going, you got anything, Tracy? And Tracy looking at me. I'm like,
because you were on mute. I'm like, I can hear you.
Like, is Tracy mad at me? She ignoring me? Like,
yes, I am mad. The whole peppermint, no patty, no peas. Yeah, I haven't forgotten that.
Why you bring that forward? You ain't want to talk about it.
You didn't want to.
No, but I haven't forgotten that comment. No patty, no peas.
But you ain't want to talk about it.
But
and
anyway.
I'm not after this. This lady is garbage. He's garbage for cheating. The other dude is garbage for cheating on her. Then the one that got cheated on is garbage. There's 4 pieces of garbage in this whole story. The original man that cheated on with the friend, against a friend. Then the husband, I guess they're married, cheating on the wife. And then the wife's like, I just married him because he could pay for my education. Girl, go get a part-time job. Get a student loan. There's many other options that you have. You don't have to stay with somebody because of their money.
And that's not fair to him.
No.
And it's not fair to him.
Yeah, but you got to think about it this way. Do she care that it's not fair to him?
But that's the point. That's the point.
At this point right now, she's looking at it as him.
But she's already said, I'm with him because he's paying for my education. I don't have any backbone of my own. I'm just a leech.
She married the sugar daddy. Now, if it's a sugar daddy marriage, then everything is fair game.
Yeah, because he knows.
He knows. Right. He married her for her looks in her youth. She married him for his resources. And then they might have an open or quasi-open or in his head open relationship because he knows that she's. Huh?
No, she's older than him. But
she's older than him. But I'm saying it's still sugar daddy isn't about how old you are. It's about your financial position and the makeup of the relationship, right? So
I'm
if-
sorry. I thought you just said that he was looking for something younger, and that's why I thought she was older than him.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Sorry.
But if that's he is leasing sex,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's prostituting herself to him,
Yeah.
and he's leasing it out. And then he decided to go rent another car for the weekend, and you got this whole thing going on. It's just a whole bunch of just mess. Just messy.
I'm supposed to
It's
feel
messy.
sorry for somebody. I don't feel sorry for any of these people.
No, I don't feel
No.
sorry for absolutely nobody.
You don't have to feel sorry for anybody.
No. This is not
I should
And I don't like
No,
people who take advantage of people.
a-hole
I don't like
moment. I
that.
don't feel sorry for nobody in this thing.
agree to this.
All
Yeah.
right, let's move on real quick.
Wow, that was
Marlon
an
didn't
all
even
agreement.
say-
That's
that's
a rare thing.
That we all agree?
Yes.
Yeah, all four of us actually do
Mhm.
agree.
It won't happen again. Don't worry about
It'll be a while.
it. I ain't even gonna worry about it. It'll be President Thea's by the time we all agree on one subject at the same time. All right, let's move on.
How did he
You
know
got
that,
my
Tracy?
vote.
How did he know that?
I was gonna say, how did he know what we talked about in our the Saturday show?
Whoa!
I was
That
going off
is
with
amazing.
Ithias ran for Congress.
No. So let me tell y'all the backstory just real quick.
Hmm?
So I talked about how I moved the Friday Fun show to Tuesday because I'm gonna play. So I said, name 5 people who shouldn't run for president and 5 people that should run. Well, should run, first person Thea's name was himself. Like just right off the bat.
I agree.
Thank you, Anna.
So when Marlon brought that up, I'm like, was he there? But you weren't there.
No, I literally was going to jump on, but putting the show together was a little rougher than I thought. It was like, I'm not finding any good stories like I used to. But anyway, I told you we can make anything political. We're gonna move on to the next story. Basically, my girlfriend stole $50,000 from me.
I've been with my girlfriend, who's 27, for 5 years. She loves her sister a ton, which is a good thing because I believe in supporting and helping your siblings as long as it doesn't ruin your own life. We just made the down payment on a house in the suburbs of a large city, so we have a mortgage. I'm a 28-year-old guy, and I work in tech as a software developer with a master's degree in computer science. I make quite a lot of money, so money issues have never come up. My girlfriend doesn't work, but she does do chores and cooking around the house. We both agreed to this. I was planning to propose to my girlfriend next year, but a problem arose about 2 years ago. For the last 2 years, probably longer, my girlfriend has been sending money to her younger sister, Emily. Emily got pregnant at 20 years old. She works as a waitress. The father is bouncing from job to job. Emily says that he's very lazy. He'll disappear for hours at a time without telling Emily where he's going or what he's doing. Emily has asked my girlfriend on several occasions for money. My girlfriend, being the nice and sweet person she is, says yes all the time. It started off as paying for diapers, no problem. Then baby clothes, which is also no problem. Then daycare, which I just brushed off. I talked with my girlfriend, saying that we can't always pay for everything and that helping out with a couple of things is okay. My girlfriend reassured me and said that she would stop sending money as soon as they got back on their feet, which is fine. One day, I hired a financial planner. The next day, I got an email saying that my account had sent out approximately $50,000 over the last 10 months. And currently, I only have $20,000 sitting in my account. I talked with my girlfriend and she apologized and said that she knew that I wouldn't want to keep sending her sister money and how she just cares about her sister. As it turns out, we've been paying for everything: insurance, rent, car payment, daycare, clothing for all 3 of them, dinners, dates, and going out expenses. It is partly my fault because I never check my bank account. My girlfriend shows me text messages between her and Emily saying that she needs the money. I then noticed a pattern where Emily would say, "Hey, can you send me money? I don't have money for blank." And of course, my girlfriend says yes. Then she would talk to me. I would say no, don't send the money, and my girlfriend would say that she won't send the money. Then, the very next day, my girlfriend sends them $1,000 for like car repairs or whatever. I talk with my girlfriend, and we get into an argument where she says that she'll help out her sister no matter what. I understand that, to an extent. We argue, trying to understand each other's point of view. As stated before, I did have $20,000 in my account, but now I'm down to $19,000. But what about next time and the time after that? My girlfriend then decides that she needs some time alone and that she'll be at her mother's for the time being. Now I'm all alone in this house that I thought that I would live in with the girl of my dreams.
I'm gonna let all of y'all talk first, because I already got my rant ready. So whoever wants to jump in.
Oh, I got to. Girl, if he don't sue you for all the money that you stole out of that account and block your access to that account, he a dang near fool. Ain't no way you gonna keep after you've agreed, hey, I'm not gonna pay for everything for my sister. You gonna turn around and then oh no, you getting sued, honey. You getting sued so quick. You won't have access to the bank account. Your clothes gonna be on the front porch. No. This is trifling. It's good that she wants to help her sister, but she is being deceitful. She's being underhanded, shady. She's basically stealing. Why he dumb enough to give her access to an account and they not married? Heck, I don't know. Maybe he just trusts her that much. He's dated her for 5 years. Nah, girl, nah. He needs to dish her, sue her for the money, make that sister who's a waitress. You better start asking for tips. Anybody else
want to jump in?
It just sounds like rich white folk problems to me. I don't care.
Okay, I'll jump in this then. The girl is trash. She stole the money. We got it. The story goes on that. No, the girl is trash.
She ain't trash.
She trash.
She definitely is trash. They agreed that she wouldn't help her sister that much. Then she went right back and took money out.
Mm-hmm. He enabled her.
Oh,
yeah, he was a dummy. He gave her access. I agree with that part.
His own story. He enabled her.
I'm finna get on
He enabled her.
Yeah. That still ain't taking away that I think she's trash. That she, you lied, basically. No, I'm not gonna give her any more money. Yeah, I'm gonna give her more money.
I'll do anything to help my sister. Girl,
to the tune of $50,000. Now, so we're gonna push that to the side. Dude, I have no love lost for you at all during this whole situation. At all. You started off this whole thing sounding like a fool. And I'm sorry to say that, but you do. Me and my girlfriend put a down payment on a house. No, you put a down payment on a house. She don't work.
But she does the chores. That is work. Chores is housework is work. It's just not paid work, but it's work.
Yes.
When it comes to putting the down payment on the house,
it was his money.
It was his
money.
I'm
sorry, I have to interject. Well, gotta interject, Marlon, because this is what Tracy's saying right now. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that she doesn't have a job, so that's his money that did a down payment, and say that you value that she works in the house and that's not her money too. So I'm saying if you're going to go with the argument of, which is why he said we put down a down payment, that is him saying, I acknowledge what she does equal to work. So the money that is going in there is our money. And at that point, you create the next issue, which is when she takes the money, she's taking our money because he created an environment that it became ours.
And this is the only thing that I will push back on it. I will actually literally agree with all that. If it wasn't for the fact that he said we share in the chores.
No,
Now,
he
if it
didn't
was
say
like,
that.
he did say that.
He said she did the chores. He said
Yeah.
she played back.
He did
He
all the
said
chores.
she does the cooking and the chores. Those are two things he named.
And even if they shared, it's still a matter of if she's a housewife, because basically he's training her to be a housewife. Okay, that's what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay, so if you done married her or you're dating her with the expectation of continuing the relationship according to the status in which you have kept her, that's a housewife. So now whatever she does that helps to keep the house running is work. She doesn't get a salary, she
And
doesn't
they
get a
agreed to
W-2, but she gets full rights to that money because that's the relationship you established. Court of law would
they
hold that up
should have.
all day, every day.
They should have specified.
Yeah.
You know that for this housework, you will get a salary of X amount of money.
Oh no, I ain't doing that.
No, I ain't going all that far. No.
But I would not have put her. I would not have put her on the account that has all my reserves.
And that's
yeah. Now
she would have been
wouldn't
on the checking account, but she ain't gonna be on the savings account.
Wait a minute.
Girl, bye.
Now you're saying something that's uneven. Because if you're saying that she's working, which that's why he says is our money, then why would she not have access to the account? Now, don't get it twisted, everybody. I think it's actually you out of your cop picking damn mind to give my account to a girlfriend. It ain't even a freaking
I agree with you.
But I'm going with that.
I gotta agree with that.
I agree there.
No. The point I was making is he drew a distinction in the telling of his story in that he makes a lot of money. She works in the house. So now we've created a bit of a parity here. And he said, we put a down payment on. So all that is cash flow to me, right? But he also said, I have a lot of money. So the savings is not part of what is tied to her. So what it sounds like to me, and I don't know because we aren't getting the details of how the accounts are set up and all that, but it sounds to me like she has access to the big account. Okay? Like most people, especially if they have considerable means, they have a transaction account, they got a reserve account, and they got a savings account, and then they got investment. Right? It goes all the way down the line. Somehow she got access to the big account. Maybe he's one of them people who puts it all in one account. If he does, then he just gave her access to all of it. And he has every right to break up with her or put his foot down or do whatever he wants to do because she was stealing, because she was lying to him. But dude, you created all the environment to make this happen.
Well, first of all, he as broke as I am, I got 2 nickels to my name. I even check my checking account. I check mine all the time.
Depends. It really does.
He just sit there. I'm not checking it.
Well, he's a thousandaire. Now I get with
he had no reason to check.
Very
people who are millionaires.
But
so
I still check my account. You were
no
still responsible for your finances.
Marlon, I'm 100-aire. I ain't no thousandaire. But I know with my accounts, right? My transaction accounts, I know basically where they are. I do not check my balance until I feel like I need to. So I know where I'm functioning at. You know what I'm saying? So if he's got even more than that and he's accustomed to just being him managing his money, because up until the baby coming, she wasn't doing this stuff.
Where did the baby come from? I didn't think they had a baby.
The sister.
The girlfriend.
Oh, the sister's girlfriend. Okay, I was like, where did the baby come from?
Before the baby came into the picture, she probably wasn't doing any of this. It was when the baby started, it was diapers and then this and then this. So he's thinking every time she wants to do something, she's asking me. So yeah, all right, you asked me, all right, cool, go ahead and do that. But hey, let's not get carried away here. And then he moves on about his business. Come to find out, he's running 2 households.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Basically, that's why I say on that waitressing job, she better ask for tips because I'm suing her and her, both of them. I'm getting them
But
all.
the law,
She ain't working.
you're
She
not
ain't
gonna
working
get
that
nothing.
waitressing job no more. She just
No,
made
because he's
No,
taking
she
care of her.
She just made $50,000
Yeah,
in 10 months.
and you can't sue her.
Yeah.
You really
Wait.
can't. And that was the funny
I
thing about
don't
it.
care. I'll
And
sue anyway.
it's
I'm that
your money.
petty.
You're not gonna get anything because she had access to the account.
She be on her clothes be on the street now. That much I do know.
You got to go now.
Why, honey, you
you gotta
pack
move.
it. You zump by. See you later.
You got to go. I know. I just chalk it up. I ain't never gonna see this money again. Whatever. But guess what else I ain't gonna see again? You got to go. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
I'm gonna take this money that I would have been spending on you, and I'm gonna spend it on a therapist. And then
You spend on an accountant.
You better go live with your waitress,
perspective.
sister, niece, and nephew, because you ain't staying up in here. Bye.
Didn't she say she went home to her mother's?
Yeah, she better stay there. Stay there.
To teach him a lesson.
About that. I'm so distraught that I'm going to my mother's house.
Bye.
I'm sorry.
It's not even
What
about
is that
distraught,
now
the
you
power
distraught
play.
Would you like me to drop your clothes off there? Because you ain't coming back in here.
The rest of the story is that he actually did break up with her. And she's crying and boo-hooing and I love you and I want you back and everything else. And I'm gonna tell you what I told Foxy when I heard that part.
You want the money back?
She ain't chasing after you. She chasing after the money.
She sure is.
Yep. Mama ain't got the good cable package.
Nope.
All she had to do was say, hey, my sister needs some help. Can we take this money out? And if he said no, which he's the primary, even if they split 50-50, you still shouldn't take that much of a significant amount out of your account without consulting the other person. That makes no sense, which is why I believe in separate accounts. Yep. But hey, that's just me. That's just me.
And it's also how you set your marriage up for failure.
Right.
I disagree.
Yes, can you elaborate?
I don't account girlfriends.
I don't elaborate on why I say it's I'm saying in the dynamic that he set up for this. This is your girlfriend that you have allowed to have full access to your money. And then she turns around and she's siphoning money out the back door. So once you marry her, that will continue.
Yeah.
So you have set your marriage up for failure because this will continue on. This is
unless he stops it.
He can't stop. She's a grown woman. What's he gonna do?
How do you turn that around? How?
No, you stop her by breaking up with her and saying you don't have access to the account anymore.
Right. I'm saying if you get married, because I'm saying they were going to get married.
Oh, no, if he married her, he's just a dumb idiot. No, you don't marry somebody and you done saw the warning signs. It's one thing if they got married and then she started siphoning. But this one, she didn't start way before they even before he even got the engagement. Right. Oh no, you don't propose to this one. She's not marriage material.
She got comfortable.
We are not entitled.
She better get used to living in her mama's house because she ain't living in that one. Nope.
Somebody's gonna have to fix that car then that's been sitting in the garage. The money train is done. Let's move on to the next story. And it's not a am I the a-hole, but I'm kind of saying, am I the a-hole for staying out of my sister's wedding?
For background, Stella and I are identical twins. We're both currently 29-year-old sisters and will both be 30 when her wedding comes around this fall. I had her as my maid of honor 8 years ago, and she promised me that I could be hers when her wedding came around. I have 2 daughters, ages 6 and 3. They're the flower girls. My marriage fell apart just over 2 years ago due to a stillbirth and my husband's infidelity. My parents and sister were the only reasons that I didn't drown from the stress, loneliness, and total abandonment of my spouse. I was a total mess. I went to therapy, got diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, quit drinking, and I owe a lot of that to my amazing sister. She's the reason why I kept chasing down my ex for child support when he suddenly stopped paying. He had switched from world's best dad to deadbeat moron so quickly that my ex-mother-in-law is disgusted with him. My sister Stella and her fiancé John, who's 35, got engaged last year. His parents are paying for about 60% of the wedding. Our parents are paying 30%. Stella and John are paying for the rest themselves. The biggest caveat is that they must be married in John's family's church, full mass with communion. The family's on board because this is going to be a very big wedding. Tonight, Stella had invited me to dinner as they had finally reserved a date for the church and reception, and I assumed that it was to formally ask me to be her maid of honor. I was excited since I haven't been in a wedding party aside from my own wedding. John was with her, which was weird because Stella didn't mention him coming in all of our texts about the dinner. We hugged like usual, but John didn't, which was weirder. After we got our drinks, they got to it. In a nutshell, John expressed the following. Despite my best efforts to keep it secret, my parents found out that you're divorced when they asked why your husband wasn't coming. They're no longer comfortable with you as the maid of honor because it won't look good to the church if my family hears about the divorce. You can be a bridesmaid, but you can't mention the divorce or your current condition at all during the wedding events. I was stunned, and I felt tears in my eyes. Stella started crying too, and she tried to spin it in a good way. This is way less stressful for you, so it's a good thing. My mother-in-law has already approved my best friend as my maid of honor, so please don't make this any harder. I knew that I couldn't possibly stay there through an entire meal. I had to process this new info alone. I didn't speak. I just paid for my wickedly expensive cocktail and left to order an Uber home. A few hours ago, I texted Stella that I wouldn't be in her wedding party at all. That was my decision. I wouldn't pull my daughters out, but I would only attend as a guest. She would not take this as an answer, so I had to temporarily block her due to her excessive texts and calls. I sent my parents a summary of what happened and promised to call them when I was in better shape tomorrow. Stella thinks that this is a total overreaction. I don't even want to know what John thinks at this point. Please help me. Am I the bad?
Is this real or not, or am I the a-hole? Because, oh my...
It's just one thing. It was so small and minute, but I knew it was going to trigger to lift it for Jesus out of me. For everybody that's new here, let me tell you certain things that if you want to try to really piss me off, these things. My mother already approved of somebody else. Who the hell are you talking to? You don't approve absolutely nothing in my wedding.
You do if you come from a certain culture and religious background.
You sure do.
I don't. You don't approve.
I don't know.
You don't approve anything in my wedding. You just
Which is why you wouldn't be in this situation, Mama.
Yeah, especially if you get married in a Catholic church. Oh no, they don't. They find out if you divorced. You might as well just sit in that little corner over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Baptist church, we don't care. You can be married 10 times. Hey, you want to be the baby? Hey, girl, help yourself.
Just don't be gay.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Depending on the church.
Yep, depending on the church.
No, yeah, it does depend on what church you go to.
Oh, okay.
Some are
or be an unwed mother. Don't do that.
Nah, unwed mothers are too many. Nah, I don't agree with you on unwed.
If you're a underage teenage mother. Some of these churches still will sit you down.
Even then, I don't think they care.
I don't even think they doing that anymore.
I don't even think they care anymore.
That was back in the day when we were growing up and kids. They did.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back like a decade ago?
Like back when I was like 7 or 8 or 9. Like I had one number in my age.
I don't think it says. I don't think that's an issue.
You still hear about it though. Come on, y'all. But anyway, the reason I muted myself was just because this is about that whole religion thing, and I think religion is just such a crock of shit because of what it does to people and what it does to family. Right? This is The Catholic Church. I'm just gonna pick on the Catholic Church right quick.
Well, this was a Catholic church story. So go for it.
That's what he said, because it was mass and all this other stuff. So it's either Catholic or it's Roman evangel. You know what I'm talking about? The Eastern European version.
Greek Orthodox.
Roman Catholic. No, it could be that. But
Orthodox,
I'm pretty sure it's Roman Catholic or Catholic to do the whole mass thing. But anyway, those are the ones I know of that really, really, really get their draws in a bunch about divorce. Well, it's the same things, and you can pick any denomination or sect. They all got issues with molesting children, molesting women. But you draw the line at divorced people, screw you. And then the thing about the sister situation is the sister who was told, hey, because of the religious aspect or the social, whatever the rules are of this church, we need you to not be this particular role. That was foul, but that's the family dynamic that she's marrying into, and that's the religious culture or structure that she's agreed to walk into. So that's y'all's marriage. And whatever you do with y'all's marriage to make your marriage work, then that's what it's going to be. And what you need to understand is, since you've made this decision for your life, there will be collateral damage. And with that collateral damage is what's happening to your sister, is what's happening to a lot of the other things that are going to be happening around you. So I hope you're going into this marriage with your eyes wide open, because this is the life you're going into. Now, if you look at that and you say, I love him just that much that I can work through this, or, which we didn't really get into, or I actually agree with some of the roles and structures of the religion and faith that my husband has that I'm going into. If that's your thing, like I said, own it, and there's going to be collateral damage. And in this case, that's your sister. And your sister made the only responsible decision that she could make. So that's why I'm mad at you for calling your sister. Your sister said, okay, I'm not pulling the girls out because this ain't about the girls. I'm going to let them continue to play their role. But I cannot sit here and stand up in front of everybody knowing that you have judged me on this earth. You are judging me and casting me out into another role. And you want me to stand up there and look out at these people who are judging me for something they have no knowledge or control of. So I'm going to be responsible about this, and I'm going to still be here for my sister, but I'm going to do it from the pews. Right. That to me is like the most fair. She didn't even have to be fair, and yet she's trying to be fair. So why are you blowing your sisters? You spoiled and you're weak.
Yep, she sure is weak.
You're spoiled because you want your sister to do what you want her to do, no matter how she feels or how it impacts her. And you're weak because you can't push up against your soon-to-be mother-in-law and your husband. And your husband's weak because he didn't grew up in this jacked up religion or whatever, and he's scared to go up against his mother and his religion. So take your weak, spoiled ass on.
I'm gonna have to say this. I agree with this.
I agree with this.
I mean, this is the second time in one show we all four
agreed on something. Second time in one show we all agree. All right, let's move on. We ain't got but 7 more minutes, 8 more minutes. Doggone it.
We all fell for it.
Oh God. As soon as I did that, I could hear Anna going, I hate you, but I love you. But I hate you, but I love you. Forgiveness for the language.
John found the post because he lurks on Reddit, and he shared it with Stella. Stella has officially called off the wedding. When John was ranting about the post and how bad the comments were painting him, he said, "Your sister must be off her goddamn meds and going manic. You better get her ass under control." But then Stella actually came undone on him and began calling out everything that John and his family had put her through. Then she took off the ring and chucked it across the living room. John went into a rage, and while he didn't do anything but yell at her, he threatened her in regards to her mobility issues. Stella uses a cane to walk. This was what triggered her to text our parents and myself. By the time our parents made it to the house, John was gone, and she had packed up her bags and left with them. Her cane was not in the house. Stella wanted to thank all of you for the comments calling her out. It shattered the illusion that John had built around them, and while we're both still raw and processing the last couple of days, I'm glad to have my sister again. She was someone I hardly recognized a few days ago. As kids, I was more outgoing and she was more reserved, so I felt obligated to go along with her the other night despite how conflicted I felt. But again, Stella says thanks for the wake-up call. And John, if you see this, F you! OP posts and edit. You know what? F you, Keith!
Keith? Huh?
That's his real name.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Hmm.
Oh, I never would have caught that part.
Glad the sister came around in the end. My comments still stand.
No, the comment did still stand.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And if he took her cane,
when you was in that situation, yeah, you was.
he took her cane. Girl, look what you almost married. Ooh, chatter. Cause see, my family, if my sister needed a cane to walk, and you took her cane, I'm not gonna say what we would have done because Facebook will take this video down. There'd have been a really intense conversation. Let's just put it like that.
Conversation none. It'd have been a situation of you gonna need to keep that cane.
You say
It's
so.
unfortunate when things happen to people.
Don't get comfortable.
But no, she dodged the bullet. She's able to. She's not gonna be in that relationship.
That crazy boo-headed family. Oh my goodness. Ooh-wee.
But that's just it. I fall short of calling the family crazy.
The mother is a controlling,
and that's what I think.
narcissistic.
I don't even do stuff like that if that's how you grew up. That's how you was raised. And we're not talking
It's still
about
wrong.
you joined.
But it's right for you.
It's wrong, but you're literally talking about. It's more of a miracle when people break away from religious things like this.
Absolutely.
That's more of a miracle. But we're talking about,
which is why it's so hard to get Trumpers away from what they're doing.
You're literally talking about people who was born and raised in this. Period. So there are very few. I applaud you that some people just look at this and go, "Wow, this is pretty messed
The
up."
mama is a control freak.
Like the funny thing about it is like the mother, and apparently that was a Catholic, Irish
Catholic, but Catholic at least.
Whoever the one where the daughter had an abortion, and the whole family was behind her except the
mother. Yeah, they was Catholic. You can tell because they was.
Yeah, that was the Latin one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Catholic Latino.
Okay, so that's the same thing. The whole family was like, the mother was the only one that was dead set in her religious beliefs, and the rest of the family was like, "No, this is my daughter. This is my sister."
Yep.
Which is why I was saying,
don't do that.
Yeah, which is why I was saying, like, I think, like I said, I think all organized religion is a bunch of mess. But that's that thing, right? For them, it ran up. We're talking about the Latin family we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
For them, it hit a crux where they were forced to choose between their family member and their interpretation of their faith. And they chose their family member. The mom is more of a believer, so to speak, So for her, it wasn't even, and I can guarantee this is what it was. It wasn't that she was choosing between her daughter and choosing between her faith. She was being told to choose between her daughter and her God. And once you get somebody to the position where they're having to choose between what they interpret to be their loyalty, their loyalty to their actual creator versus their loyalty to the creator's creation, that's not normal math. And it can tear them apart. It can ruin their lives. It can crush them internally. But what do you fear more? Right? So and I've seen versions of that just even in the traditional Christian church where it's the pressure, right? This is all you've known. And this is your support system. This is your belief system. This is your family's tradition going back multiple generations. There is a lot in there, and you don't know how you're going to come out of that until you
go through
run into it. Yeah.
All right.
Because that's why I don't understand. Sorry, and I've said this to my parents, and they didn't give me an answer, and they really didn't like I asked the question. But I just can't understand how in some of the major religions, how a woman can ascribe to them, considering how the gender is treated by the religion, not necessarily faith, the religion, and how it treats genders. That even if your individual church is more elevated and doesn't do that, the faith or religion you are assigning yourself to does. So how do you reconcile that? Just like if you're gay, how do you reconcile that? And I can't imagine the emotional struggle that has to go into navigating that.
All right, everybody, that is our first hour.
That was a lighthearted hour, right?
That was the lighthearted hour. I told you we could turn anything into something. And this was lighthearted. I mean, honestly, if you're new to this show, you'll get the swing of things and realize that, oh, wow, that was lighthearted. Yeah, because we done had some drag outs on this show before. And the fact that we agreed twice, So
oftentimes we agree at the bigger points.
Well, we agree for the ending. We just disagree a lot on the path. Like the where we want to be, we agree with. How we get there, that's the F you all. I'm just kidding. We don't do that on the show, but you get what I'm saying. And
I am so proud of all of us, mainly you and me, Marlon. We don't drop the F-bomb like we used to. Tracy has really helped us.
Let me go into the second hour. Please bring that back up again because I have a story behind that. I'm not joking. Please do not let me forget. Please. I have a story.
Tracy, I say thank you.
And Marlon? No, I'm joking.
I just cuss. Yeah.
But all of y'all, please remind me the second hour. Marlon, tell us the story about the cussing. But we're gonna go on into our second hour so we don't overrun because we got some brand new people and y'all damn well ain't gonna watch 3 hours of a show. And I'm running on 5 hours of sleep. So this is the part of the show where we take a 3-minute break to reboot and refresh. We will see you all on the other side with Tracy, a returning Real or Nah, and a Foxy video of the week. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising. I'm soaring above it. It all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Higher to a bird. You, I'm rising. I'm soaring above it. It all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
Welcome back. And before we get started, as always, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Radical Truth to Borrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the show where we get into the serious nitty-gritty of the week, including what happened today. You want to know or get more information? Tune in tomorrow. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/a better Tracy media page. Help support Tracy in all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/complex mind. Help Theus in all of his endeavors, which I'm so proud of my brother because he is dropping videos and bombs. Please do not forget to go to my Patreon page, patreon.com, Radical Truth to Power is exactly this way it's spelled. Capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorrelliaEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And if you was at the beginning of this video, she's dropping gold, folks. And as always, if you need to drop me a line, you can do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's radtp@outlook.com.
You're getting so good at that.
I was scared. Got scared. Okay, I remember what I was saying before the first half. So
Okay.
I looked at some of my old videos, including yesterday's videos, Friday Night Guys. And I was listening to it, and I literally, on a couple of occasions, went, woo, I did a lot of cussing. Like, unnecessary, no reason for it, cussing.
Oh, wasn't that straight off of Uvalde? I mean, you had a reason to.
I know, I know, I do, and trust me, I did. And
I know.
Trust me, I'll probably be doing it tomorrow too. But it was like when I was younger, I didn't cuss. I mean, I didn't cuss as much as I do now. You know,
how far back we going on that one, Marlon?
Well, I'm in my 20s, brother. So
6, 7.
No.
If you cussing at 6, you got some real problems.
Well, I got some real problems because I was cussing at 6. Live in my neighborhood, everybody was cussing at 6. Didn't make any sense, but you were still cussing at 6 and 7 and 8.
We'll have a guy locked in the middle of the room, middle of next week for doing that.
You
didn't curse when your parents could hear you.
No.
Well, I don't know. Some kids. Because I've been around some. Yeah.
Can't do it.
Their parents think it's cute when they're little,
When they
and
5
then
or
all of
2
a
or 3,
sudden they're supposed to
Never
stop.
was.
that ain't cute.
That never was cute. I'm a grown man. I don't even cuss around my mom. Still to this day, can't
No,
do
you
it.
miss what I'm saying. I'm talking about when you see like, especially
No, I know what you're talking
not
about. The
just use
videos
the
when they
term
cuss,
like
they
hood
cuss that
folk,
sort of
alley
thing.
folk. Yeah, they let them be mannish as they call it,
Because I
and
looked
I'm
at
like,
one
no, that's
today.
just bad.
I looked at one today, looking up videos for Foxy's videos of the week, and I saw one today, and it was, I guess they was making a joke about Biden. We need somebody like Biden again. And you had the little kid that was Jesus Christ, and even that point I thought that's not funny. But then they apparently they got some other kid who's in a car seat. So kid,
Baby.
pretty much bullshit. That's
But that
bullshit.
child, that baby
That's
didn't learn that
bullshit.
from
I'm
just
like,
any place.
why do you think this is funny?
They
This
had to
is
actually
not
be
funny.
reinforced and coached.
And then the parent will get upset. Where did the child learn from? Gee,
No, I literally did tell my mom I learned majority of my cuss words from you. So please don't. You go out in them streets and be learning that. Mom, I learned majority of my cuss words from you. Like seriously.
And when did you get off the ground? Or did?
No. Well, I was grown when I told her.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah.
I just want to make sure. Okay.
Or at least a teenager. But yeah. I don't think she was gonna be mad at me. That was the truth. I didn't say anything to be disrespectful, but I did learn the majority of my cuss words from my mom. Like, what? You can't sit there and go, you hit the streets and all of a sudden came back with a filthy mouth and throw your ass to bed. Aha. I learned a majority of my cuss words from my mom. And the threat. She's always been really good. It makes sense. Once you grow up, it never makes sense whatsoever. But at that time, you wasn't supposed to understand. It was just supposed to scare you. Mama, can I go outside? I'll go outside with you. You want me to go outside with you? Now I'm older, and Tracy, you're right. I probably would have had my neck broke because I would look at her and go, oh, okay, you want to grab a coat? Yeah, put it down there.
Something about the audio was a little off. Is that anybody else?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
gonna
is it
say,
me?
Marlon. Yes, your audio was not.
I got some light static, which isn't a big deal. I can function. But then you were quiet, Marlon. Like when you were talking, I couldn't quite hear you. I heard
Like
you, but I had
you
to
went
struggle to
into a
hear you.
bottle.
Yeah, it's like you was talking inside of, like you had a scarf on your mouth or something.
That's how powerful my mom is. She knew I was talking about her, and somehow she got into the audio, and that was pretty much shut the hell up, kid. So we're gonna move on to a different subject. Apparently, my mother is a wizard. Real or nah? Now, this next story actually will overlap into a second part of a story. So it's one part, there's a little pause, and then it rolls over into a second part. So, and I'm gonna play both of them back to back, or at least that's how I edited it to run back to back. My boyfriend don't like me anymore because of milk.
I live with my boyfriend, and we've had conflicts now for over 5 months because of milk. Approximately 6 months ago, I found out that I'm lactose intolerant, and it made me change all my diet to avoid stomachache and nausea, which is working pretty well. I don't expect my boyfriend to change his diet to accommodate me, so we've been buying our own groceries to not impact one another. In my country, plant-based milk and lactose-free products are very expensive, but since I love my cheese and milk, I buy it anyways. The problem is that my partner eats it all when I'm not home and doesn't replace it by buying more. I don't mind sharing food, but it's really disrespectful of him to not leave some for me. He knows that lactose is something my stomach can't handle, but he still eats and drinks my products when I'm not around. It's made us fight a lot, and it's been going on for 5 months now. This morning, seeing less than 100 milliliters of my almond milk left made me go absolutely crazy. I had just worked a 10-hour shift at the hospital, and I just wanted a latte. He keeps saying that it's not a big deal, but the fact that he chooses to consume my stuff and refuses to admit his mistakes makes it unbearable. How my boyfriend treats me is absolutely outrageous, and it's made me realize that he doesn't treat me as an equal or respect me. I can't take it anymore. I bought a plane ticket to return to my parents' home. Then OP writes her boyfriend a breakup letter and she shares it in the post, which I'm gonna skip over. She leaves the letter for her boyfriend to find. Then, 3 days later, OP posted an update. While my ex-boyfriend was at college, me and my 4 friends packed up my stuff. The only thing I left behind was our engagement ring, photos, and the house keys. I left the heavy and big stuff at my friend's house, and she'll be shipping it to my parents' home. While I traveled, I kept my phone off, and eventually I arrived at my home city. Today, when I finally turned my phone on, there was more than 74 calls from him. The messages ranged between begging me to come home to talk it out, to threatening to expose my nudes, to telling everyone about my ADHD, to threatening to find me and make me regret it. This made me quite afraid, so I showed my parents these text messages. We're planning to spend several days at our beach home in another state until it's safe and get a police report. I don't know what'll happen after I file a report, because in our country, Brazil, the police force is worthless.
She's talking about America, right?
She just said Brazil.
I know, but she's really talking about America.
Yeah, fine. Potato. You're muted.
Your immunity is.
I think they live in America, but she's from Brazil. That's what I think.
I know,
but first, okay, I'm gonna say 2 different pieces. First part, okay. She did right, because for some people they would say this is just food. You broke up over food, because y'all like to fuss at me for why I would break up with people. But anyway, this is different because she had that particular food because of her dietary needs. And instead of you saying, I kind of like your stuff, let's start just buy your stuff going forward. And then now your money is going towards the same thing her money is going towards. So there's double the amount of almond milk, right? You didn't do that though. You still wanted your stuff and then her stuff and then whatever on how she felt. So she did right breaking up with him. Where she was wrong, I feel she was wrong, is the way she broke up, right? So up until when she left, she didn't say any indication of him being abusive or anything like that, just him being dismissive. Like he didn't respect her or something. So she up and left when he wasn't there. So that's one foul stroke. You didn't even give your partner the common courtesy of breaking up with them. Okay. And then you hop a plane and turn your phone off, knowing that the person you just abandoned is gonna want to get in contact with you. That's another foul stroke on your part. So then, after you didn't let somebody stew in their hurt, confusion, and all that stuff. So I don't know if y'all ever been on the receiving end or on the giving end of a breakup that you weren't ready for. People say stuff they ain't got no business saying. So now you take this most unguarded moment for him, other than the threat part, that's a different thing. But all this other stuff, you helped create the situation where for hours he went from, why isn't she returning my call? How dare she not return my call? Why? You left him on this emotional roller coaster on your phone and then turned around and gave it to somebody else to hear. That is so foul, folks, on so many levels, unless he was physically abusive. That's different. But she didn't give me any indication that he was an abusive partner, just that he was an asshole. That's it. So I don't like how she broke up with him. I don't like how she blindsided him. I don't like any of that. All of that is foul to me. And then, so that's all my real stuff. Then on the silly side of it, you're going to be okay because you went home to Brazil you had enough money to fly back to Brazil because you felt like it, and then you went to your beach house, not the house, beach house. So you're gonna be okay.
Well, I think she flew to her parents' house and they told her, "Let's go to the beach house."
Exactly. She gonna be okay.
You're. I get what you're saying. You're good.
Now, I'm not saying money makes emotional damage better. It doesn't.
It sure don't remove threats.
But it does make it a lot more comfortable as you're working through it.
That's for sure. I feel a little stressed.
That's my take.
Let's go to the beach house. So, real or not?
It could be real.
I'm saying fake. If breaking up over petty reasons was a thing, this is probably it. Almond milk.
But
no, it was about her.
It wasn't about
her digestive system.
About the milk. I'll give you an example, Tracy. I'll give you the perfect example. Your favorite story. You're saying they broke up over milk. It's the equivalent of that guy getting mad at his girlfriend because this was only about a bite out of a piece of cake.
All the cake.
I didn't say it didn't have larger implications, but the root is if he had never.
The root was he was being disrespectful on purpose.
Yeah, the root was disrespect.
The root was purely disrespect.
And she let it go on for 5 months? Nah, nope, I don't believe it.
Was the almond milk. The root was being disrespectful.
You let disrespect go for 5 months?
Is not that long.
5 months is not that long.
You got time to disrespect me. Nope, I ain't putting up with it.
And on top of that, you're assuming that.
So you would break. Wait, Marlon. You called the breakup petty. And then you just said it wouldn't have lasted 5 months to get to this point.
Not the disrespect.
So which one is it?
It's both.
You would have broke up with him a month in?
It's both. If I felt he was disrespecting me over whatever the issue was, milk, he wears my clothes, whatever the issue is.
Okay, so you're calling it petty, but it's also okay to break up over the petty.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it was petty to break up for that reason.
No, I'm saying what you just said.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I completely. Yeah.
Because y'all don't listen to nothing I say.
I try.
No. I actually went exactly where Theus went. I'm sorry. That was not clear.
For 5 months. This may not have went over 5 months. This could have been the
She said they was arguing for 5 months over this.
Yeah, she did say that.
She said 5 months.
You're a bigger a-hole than I thought.
This is why I can't believe I'm like 5 months? 5 months.
That's some good milk.
I can't.
Almond milk is terrible. First of all, can we say this? Milk comes from a mammal. It does not come from almonds, peanuts, cashews, carrots, mushrooms, broccoli. Plant-based milk comes from a mammal.
Really?
Mammal.
Why you say that?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is.
That's not necessarily true.
It is.
That's an alternative. Milk comes from a mammal.
It's a milk alternative, but it's still
a milk alternative. It's not milk itself.
I'm lactose intolerant. I'll take
because the milk that people go and pour in their cereal, that ain't the milk that came out the cow.
No, because they treat it with chemicals and what have not.
And they do a lot of stuff to it. So if it was not, so the original stuff that came out, that nasty stuff that came out that animal, that was milk. That stuff that nice pure white stuff that's in your bowl.
All I'm saying is almond milk is an alternative. Soy milk, alternative. It's alternative milk. It's not milk. That's all I'm saying.
I agree on the standpoint of when we just talking about food and we're just saying, what it is. Because personally, I think milk is disgusting anyway. But I was just making that point because it crosses over into other things too. So it's because we're accustomed to calling something doesn't mean that it was always called the right thing in the first place.
Well, I appreciate y'all making this editing part real easy because as soon as Tracy goes and milk, click, cut that part off. All right, we're gonna move on.
By the way, cereal is disgusting.
No, it's not, and you'll learn why on Tuesday.
Except Fruity Pebbles and Frosted Flakes because you can eat them dry.
You know what? I meant to go off
You can eat
on
those
you
dry.
last time. Cereal is disgusting except for. Okay, those are cereals, so cereal is not disgusting.
Except for those two because you can eat them dry.
And this is why you should watch my podcast on Tuesday, as I rank the top 5 worst and best cereals. Thank you.
She's going to rank the top 10 worst cereals.
No, top 5 best and 5 worst.
Unless Fruity Pebbles or Frosted Flakes appear
10
in
total.
the list.
5 bad, 5 good.
The worst 10.
I'm sorry. I apologize that I grew up. So
Adults eat cereal.
Adults should stop.
No, we shouldn't.
And especially if you say that you're lactose intolerant, why you still eating something that hurts your
That's
tummy?
gonna be real interesting morning drive to work.
Some of us put almond milk in our cereal if we can't.
Yes, my children will only drink almond milk. My wife and my children, they only drink almond milk. They will not drink regular milk. They will not drink soy milk. They only do almond milk. And that's fine. That's what they want to do. I don't care. It's all nasty to me. But, you know, like Tracy was saying, it's bean juice, or actually nut juice. But, you know, if you think about it, milk comes from the mammary. If we're talking about it from the mammalian standpoint, milk comes from the mammary. Okay? The equivalent structure on the male side would be the male genitalia. Therefore, sperm is like nut juice.
Don't worry about it, folks. This will not be re-recorded. So
I have no comment.
Trust me, I'm not going to shorten this part of the video.
Why Marlon doesn't cuss as much as he does.
Like I said, as soon
and
as
that's why Marlon said that almond juice is nut juice.
That's as soon as Tracy say milk, click, cut right there.
Because he always cut me out. Always cut me out.
I'm not going to cut out what you said all the way up to you say, and milk. That's when the music's playing.
So he's just going to cut out where you plugged upcoming Tuesday's episode.
The person who put everybody's episode on the platform.
I think you do an amazing job shouting out all of our projects and endeavors, and I appreciate that. Yeah. And it's just unfortunate that you would cut Tracy out on this one.
I didn't cut Tracy out. Tracy was the first one. Tracy was the safety vest person.
On this one. I said on this one.
Oh, no. Her take on milk. I can't do it.
It does come from a mammal. That's just facts. That's just biology.
We're going to move on. And the funny thing about it is, I, at this point in time, do not even feel sorry for this.
Man, it's been so long, I don't even know what the story was.
He stole her milk.
Her
milk alternative.
Beach house. Okay, beach house. Got you.
She went back to him like a dummy.
Nope.
Because he got some Kraft cheese.
And
not Kraft the company, but Kraft like alternative hipster cheese.
Oh, Parker. No.
Twice in one show.
I know. Nope, it ain't nothing that. Dude showed up.
In my last update, I told you that I was traveling to my family's beach house, and it saved my life. Before leaving, I told the building administration that my ex wasn't allowed to enter the condominium since he's a threat. This morning, my parents received a call from the doorman saying they called the police because my ex-boyfriend showed up and tried to find me. He was able to enter the building since I forgot to delete his Face ID. But fortunately, this monster was stopped at reception. At first, he tried to talk to the staff saying that it was all a misunderstanding and that we're back together, but they asked for proof and this idiot couldn't even provide it. He became very violent and tried to attack the staff, so they called the cops. When the cops searched through his bag, they found a pair of knives, gloves, and plastic bags. Now he's in police custody. I'm still shaken up at the possibility of me being murdered by him, so this'll be my final update since we'll be suing him. The fact that all of this was caused by milk is really shocking because it made me see that the man I almost married is a monster.
I'm still saying I don't believe this. This is a
nah.
It was a no to me in the beginning, and it's still this part. A plastic bag. Girl, bye.
They just can't leave well enough alone. They tell a good story, and then they be like, and then he jumped off the roof, and he had a parachute.
Oh,
and plastic ties, and a muffle.
Steel in his backpack that he threw.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
I was a no from the beginning, and I'm still a no. Matter of fact, I'm a heck no.
Real or nah. I'm gonna put this under. I put this under real or nah because I was actually okay with the first part of the story. It could happen. It has happened before. I get it. I was going with the story. I was actually going with the first part of the story. Literally, he tried to break in and blah 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 and everything else. You lost me the minute you said, and they found zip ties and bazooka and plastic bags, sandwich bags, and everything else. And your whole mentality of finding these dangerous things in this guy's trunk. This guy's trunk. He was coming to kill you.
No, it was his backpack. It was just in a backpack.
It was backpack.
He was going to carry her out like the garbage.
How did he get past the airport with all that stuff? You can't. If he flew there, but Marlon.
It was the reaction that made me go, nah. We found all these things that he was trying to kill me in his backpack.
He couldn't have made it to the airport security with that stuff. There's no way.
No, but I get it. But this is my part because he never could have came over here and bought all those things.
Exactly.
In Brazil.
But
but this is what threw me off. This guy literally sat there and said he got enough stuff that he's going to try to kill you. This will be my last post on here because I'm going to sue him. What?
So here's the thing, Marlon.
This is so fake.
I heard that too, and I was like, so your recourse is to sue him, not press charges.
Not press charges. Not get a restraining order.
But here's the thing. I suspect. Okay, I'm gonna play along. I'm gonna play along with the story like it's real because at this point it's not real. But he is also of means. So she's wealthy, and he's wealthy. So when she left, he was able to up and fly there too. And he's known at the building to the point that his facial ID is in there. And see, Brazil got a lot of security, especially when you're talking about rich folks. So you telling me that somebody of that level of means is going to show up himself at your building security and try to fight security with weapons in his bag in Brazil? No.
He might have tried that in Texas or Arkansas or Alabama. Like in the United States, he could have got away with it.
Wait a minute. I literally have to push back on that. I really
no. He could have got away with that.
A rich person
can literally do that,
acting like that in Brazil.
A rich person, rich person who figures that he ain't doing anything wrong. He was shunned. This was embarrassing and everything else. Yeah, I literally can see a rich person doing all of that.
No,
but in the United States.
Not in Brazil.
Oh, please, because we got people who goes to Spain and say, I'm pissed off that everybody speaks Spanish.
Yes, but they're not going to fight security in Brazil. You come up missing.
Thank you. They real easily ready to kidnap an American.
Nah, I ain't even because if it was Jamaica, you know damn well this wouldn't happen.
You know, I mean, people come up missing. Don't get me wrong. We've had people come up missing in the DR. They come up missing in Brazil. They come up missing in Colombia. They come up missing all over the place. And these are usually regular folk doing stupid stuff or criminals doing something. But when you come from a well-heeled background, right? You got money. You're not doing this type of behavior yourself. You're just not. It's just,
Oh, Parker, let me explain.
Yeah, you pay somebody else.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm confused. She said, before I told the office people not to let him into the condo because he was a threat. But how did he find the note that she wrote up with him? You're confusing two areas. They stayed in a different area where she left the note.
Yeah.
Her and the boyfriend.
Wherever they go to school.
Yeah. So that's where she left the note at. She broke up, and she flew to Brazil. And the parents, by the way, is the condo part. Trust me, that confused me too until I reheard the story, and I went, "Huh? How did?" Because I took it as, wait a minute, your condo? So you have a condo? I thought you was staying with her, but apparently it must have been a parent's condo, and they're going to the beach. So, but now listen to the story, because that was the part that made me go, this crap is fake. That doesn't even make any sense.
Nope, the whole thing don't make any sense.
Now I'm just going back to, this is fake because your whole mentality is, I'm gonna sue you.
No,
maybe it's a translation thing. Maybe
this whole thing is made up thing.
Maybe they go to school in Chile. And see, Chile is just on the other side of Brazil. So, like the mountain range, and then on the other side of the mountain range is Brazil. So maybe they go to school in Chile, and then she flew back to Brazil. So that's a cheap plane ticket. And then he hitchhiked and got all the way around there and got there. So now he's tired and stuff, and he gets to the condo, and he just want to take a nap, take a shower, and wait and talk to her. But then these people, they pushing him and telling him you can't go and all of that, and then he gets upset. So he's defending himself, and he's fighting back, and the knives and the bags, those weren't even his. See, he came with some plastic. He came with some plastic flowers because he knew real flowers wouldn't make it on the trip. So he had some plastic flowers, and he had a tablecloth, and he was going to do a nice little picnic. But when he was hitchhiking, someone stole his bag and switched them. So he ended up with a hostage taker's backpack when really he wanted the picnic backpack. And so it was all a miscommunication.
Here's my theory. Somebody is writing a movie script and they said, gee, what do I think of next?
Or my story.
That was such... The only thing that popped in my head as Theus was talking was, I wonder why Obama didn't do anything during 9/11. Sound like a freaking Trump rally. Everything that you were saying, just like, no.
I'm 100% certain he had something to do with 9/11. Hey, let's just skip the fact he wasn't even president. Okay.
Everything I said could possibly occur.
And that's a Trump rally.
No, because they just make up stuff. I
made up stuff.
What did you just did? Yeah, you just made up a bunch of
it was all stuff that could happen.
You could also...
And technically, Obama could have had something to do with September 11th. We don't know. What was he doing? Where was he at?
He wasn't even in office. He was still in Chicago.
Yeah, I ain't say he was president, but how do we know what he was doing? How we know? You know Obama El Salvadorian.
you cut. But him, you just let it just keep going.
Yeah, because I gotta put that on there. Oh God. Maybe one day somebody will birth a Jesus. Foxy's videos
Because
of
that fetus might be a Jesus.
Jesus.
Hey, is it too early to say that we should have Lauren Boebert for president?
I think she's 30. Well, she's 36 and a grandmother.
Exactly.
No, then she's cool.
Then she could
be president.
We all
Lauren
know
Boebert for
El
president.
Salvador was behind the 9/11. Sure. Why not?
Just like Osama.
Stop that.
Yeah, because somebody gonna believe
right
this
now.
stuff. Somebody gonna believe this, and then they
Hey,
like,
you know, Saddam Hussein rigged the election machines in the
it was Hugo
2024.
Chavez.
Dominican Republic,
Fake news.
are the greatest machines on the face of the planet. I do not recognize anything other than the Dominican machines. I literally go in and vote and ask, what kind of machines you got? Dominican Republic, I'm with you. They sue people. No.
Oh, that's Dominion.
Yeah, that's Dominion, not Dominica.
Okay, Dominion.
But no, it is all just talking silliness. We are not perpetuating falsehoods and silliness. Well, we are doing some silliness, but no,
we're doing
to the falsehoods thing. And what that young man who hitchhiked from Chile, you know, help Yvonne make his bail.
And you know, doggone well, nigga was gonna come in. Lord Boebert publicly swore that separation of church and state is not in the Constitution.
That's because.
And it's not.
It really isn't. It's not.
It's in whatever those the Federalist Papers or something. I don't know. But it's what it is.
It's the
stupid.
I'm
but we're talking about
history.
Mickey did a complete dress down of Lauren Boebert on Facebook, and it was perfect.
You know what?
I mean,
figure out which one I was going to use, which one I was going to show first. I'm going to show this first. Midas Touch. Your show is good. I'll give you that.
Which one? They got about 50 of them.
Yeah, no.
Right.
But I was gonna get to the point of when you do campaigning and commercials and everything, some of the brutalest individuals I've ever seen.
Now, Lincoln Project do the best.
And Lincoln
yeah.
Too, but
I turn side on them.
And Lincoln is really good. Midas Touch be cutting like I don't even care you're mad. So here's the newest edition of Midas Touch's campaign for Joe Biden featuring Marjorie Taylor Greene.
So Midas Touch made an ad against Marjorie Taylor Greene using her own words against her, showing that America is safer because of President Biden. It's amazing. Take a look at the clip.
2020, there were 4.8 thousand pounds of fentanyl seized by CBP. But in 2021, it increased to 11.2 thousand pounds of fentanyl was seized by the CBP. That is a direct result of Biden administration policies.
President Biden, protecting our border, keeping our country safe. Midas Touch is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Number decreased.
Yeah, the number. But here's the problem with that ad. I personally, I don't think it was very good. And the reason why I don't think it was very good is because it's all about who you're marketing to, right?
Yeah.
So that ad is good for people like us, but we already know.
Right.
So that ad is worthless to people like MTG and her crew because they still wouldn't have picked up on the fact that the number went down. Like it will not click for them until they see it 5 times. And so I think that's a miss. And then also remember, this is the same U.S. society that the fast food industry had to abandon the 1/3 pound burger
Yes.
because Americans thought the quarter pounder was bigger. Okay? So
Yep.
don't
Wait, what?
lead with math. It's
Yes.
not what we do
Yes,
well.
Anna, that is a true story. McDonald's, you know, they have the quarter pounder. Well, A&W or whatever restaurant came out with the half pound burger or the 1/3 burger. They had to get rid of it because Americans thought that the quarter pounder, which is 25%, was greater than 33%.
Because Americans are not smart. We're crafty. We're scrappy. Not the smartest.
What's that?
I am dumb at math, and yet I still knew that was wrong.
I looked at an old show a long time ago called Numbers. And if you want to feel like well, I ain't gonna say that. No, I'm gonna say if you want to feel like an idiot, watch the TV show Numbers. No, that's not. That's not true. Because we're talking about somebody who there are some people out there who only see everything in their life, everything, their career, their love life, their engagements, everything through math. And this is one of the people since they was a kid. But he be throwing some stuff out there that's just like, yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that your brother was an FBI agent, and I know there's a lot of action in this, I would not be watching this show because I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
I don't know what you're speaking of right now.
Yeah, I don't watch this show.
It's a TV show called Numbers. And
does it come on ABC, CBS, Fox?
No, you have to look it up on someplace else. It's an old show. The whole concept of the younger brother.
He made it sound like you got to go to like OAN to find it.
Yeah, I'm like, where am I going to see this?
Yeah, when I think about math, I'm gonna go to OAN. That's the equivalent of I want to know what the real news is about.
Just call Cyber
That's
Ninjas and have them do the recount.
I don't know what you're talking about. Newsmax that's that 100% news. I don't know what y'all talking about.
But the equivalent of the show was the younger brother was a genius mathematician since a younger age. Like he graduated from college at 16 or something like that. So he was a professor at a college in his 20s, early 20s.
One of those guys. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But his brother is an FBI agent, like literally running his own crew in the FBI. So his brother uses the older brother uses his younger brother's math to solve issues. And his brother can look at something, and this is the part where I say it kind of throws you. He can look at a situation, and through him, his math solves crimes.
That makes sense.
Okay.
When you watch the show, if I say it to you, it's like, oh, come on, Marlon. When you watch the show, it's like, that literally actually makes sense.
It does.
You have savants who can do that. You have kids who are autistic and on the spectrum. There's a certain type of autism that triggers like math and science, right?
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you. 100% with you.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why Lauren Boebert is ready to be president, because she is an analytical genius.
On the spectrum?
Tuckums.
No, I'm not going to pick on the spectrum. I'm saying she is an analytical genius. She can't talk, she can't read, she can't enunciate or put together sentences very well. But okay, I'm out. I don't have much, but she's doing something.
Being a grandmother at 36.
She didn't vote for all of it.
She voted for all of Trump's picks, every single
she
last
voted for
one.
94. I thought she voted for not. Wait a minute. Oh yes,
Who?
that.
Susan
Oh, I'm sorry.
Collins.
I didn't see
Susan
the last
Collins
part. I
voted
Yes,
for
apologize.
all,
She voted for all of it.
despite her saying,
100%.
despite her saying, I'm going to vote against this person.
And they
Yeah,
really weren't
Susan Collins
Trump's
lies
pick.
every time she says something.
They were some other billionaire's pick.
Somebody do me a favor. What the living crap is normies?
Normal people.
Normal. It's the way a lot of people with disabilities talk about people without disabilities.
I thought this was supposed to be an insult again because we was
It is an insult
for being.
It's almost a lighthearted insult, but it's an insult, right? Like people who are normative, cognitive, whatever the right term. What's the right term? Like it's anyway. People who are considered normal, okay? Because really, in life, there's no such thing as normal.
Right.
We all exist on the spectrum.
Normal is a movable fulcrum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. None of us on this planted.
Yeah.
This whole world is normal because everything.
Well, the reason why,
go ahead.
In a scientific sense, how you can define normal is if you drew a bell curve for all of whatever culture or society you're measuring, and within that bell curve, you're gonna have like the 20% outlier and a 20% outlier. And you're gonna have like the way out outliers who aren't even on the curve, and but it's that 60, right? That's your normal, right? The ones who are coming up the curve and just coming down the curve, that's your normal. Okay, your median personality base or whatever.
The average,
and then the people outside of that, if you're on the low end of the curve, they're going to give you some term like mentally challenged, disabled, or something like that. And if you're on the other end of the curve, even though you roll these things together, they come back together. But anyway, on the other end of it, we're going to call those people geniuses, savants, things like that. But the line between genius and mental illness, right there. So humanity is so interesting. But that's where the normies come from. The normies are the people who think that they're normal and thereby say everybody else is abnormal.
Yeah.
Normies in terms of politics usually just mean moderates or centralists or pro status quo. Okay,
I've never thought of it in the context of politics. But yeah,
some guy called us normies in one of the comments.
Wait a minute, this person saw me and said I'm normal?
He called all of us.
If you're talking about the comment that just came up on the screen, I took that in relation to where we were in the conversation. So when you call us normies, we were at that time talking about savants and talking about people on the spectrum. So if this person, I don't know who you are, if this person themselves is considered to be on the spectrum or has any type of a diagnosis, then they would be oftentimes not labeled normal when in fact they are normal, they're just different, right? But because they're different, we treat them as abnormal, which then makes them call us normies because it's showing that we truly are not normal. We're just so full of ourselves that we think we are.
Yes.
At least that's how I interpret.
That's a really good,
Most geniuses are on the spectrum, LL. I'm putting this up because, hey, LL, because I've been showing your comments, but I didn't even say hey to you, so I apologize. I just like...
Hey, babes.
And then I have to put this very important thing up for what Parker was asking, if I can find it. Mom, this is totally unrelated, but are you going to watch the Brock versus Cody match, or are you going to watch it later? I'm going to watch it later because...
Hey, the NFL schedule comes out. the 12th. Happy about that.
I can't care enough. I tried.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't this summer.
I literally and Tracy, I did exactly what I said I was gonna do. I said I was gonna watch the first round and then turn it off, and that's exactly what I did.
I watched all 7 rounds. All 7.
I have never in my life watched the NFL draft. I don't understand what you guys are watching. I don't even get it. How is this interesting? They're not
it's
doing
football.
anything.
I don't care.
Like, I can't watch the combine. I tried to watch the NFL combine once before, but it made me feel like I was watching a slave trade, and the draft just is boring to me. So I don't understand.
We're gonna move on before Anna winds up writing another song for the Ukrainian national anthem. This is an example. Okay, Anna, we moved on. Jeez.
That was rude.
Yeah, you was rude. You didn't have to do all
that. Was rude.
Lift every voice.
No, we did not ask you to sing anything at any time.
Yes, please no. Please no. No.
I sing better than every person, well, besides Anna. Every person on this panel.
That ain't saying much to say you sing better.
Yeah,
than me.
like
that ain't
what?
saying much
That's
at all.
supposed to be a compliment or something. Like what? I'm offended by that. You sing better than me. I sound like 2 cats that got into a fight.
Oh, that's what I told Theodore. I hate the sound of my voice, and I was like, every time I get mad, I sound like a Smurf.
I'm the perfect representation of that's okay, baby. That's okay.
Take your time.
Let
God
use
you. All them other lies.
Let him use you. Let him use you. That was my.
No, they be sitting there lying. Stop lying.
All right, let's go ahead and move on because we're almost 2 hours in. So let's at least make it 2:30 so we can cut it off. Again, this is. Now I'm going to go ahead and play this one because I want to get this out of the way. We've been on this show saying for the longest time we want Christians to start speaking the freak up. We've been saying that for the longest time. We're sick and tired of turning the other cheek with this bull crap that the white supremacists have been using Christianity to forwarded their agenda. And Christians, and I'm speaking for myself. If anybody want to jump in, that's fine. I'm speaking for myself. I'm sick and tired of watching white supremacists use Christianity to forward their agenda, and other Christians just standing by going, we got to do it. We just got to stand by our faith. And we don't say that. I'm tired of that. I'm sick of it, honestly. So this next video pretty much proves what I am saying that I want Christians to start doing.
What this Christian politician said made my jaw drop. A bill in Texas that just passed the Senate would force all public schools to prominently display the 10 Commandments in every single classroom. The bill is currently being debated by a public education House committee, and here's what a Christian on that committee said.
I say this to you as a fellow Christian. Representative Noble, I know you're a devout Christian, and so am I. This bill, to me, is not only unconstitutional, it's not only un-American, I think it is also deeply un-Christian.
Yes.
And I say that because I believe this bill is idolatrous.
Yes.
I believe it is exclusionary.
Yes.
And I believe it is arrogant. And those 3 things,
yes,
in my reading of the gospel, are diametrically opposed to the teachings of Jesus.
Yes.
A religion that has to force people to put up a poster to prove its legitimacy,
yes,
is a dead religion.
Amen.
And it's not one that I want to be a part of. It's not one that I think I am a part of. My concern is instead of bringing a bill that will feed the hungry, clothe the naked,
yes,
heal the sick.
This man's preaching.
We're instead mandating that people put up a poster.
Oh,
loving
that's
your neighbor
a word.
Is the most important law. It is the summation of all the law and all the
Yes,
prophets.
100%.
I would submit to you that our neighbor also includes the Hindu student who sits in a classroom,
Yes.
the Buddhist student who sits in a classroom, and an atheist student who sits in a classroom.
Yes.
And my question to you is, does this bill truly love those students?
Great question.
I'm going to go a different direction than I think you're trying to lead me.
Of course.
Let me get my rant out of the way. I apologize, but let me get my rant out of the way. First of all, dude, don't talk during somebody else talking. That's irritating as crap. Yes, that's the word. Don't do that, man. I don't know why that bothers me, but it does. But this is what I was saying. Open your damn mouths. Start speaking out. I'm tired of you sitting on the sidelines and going, well, it ain't bothering me, so I ain't gonna say nothing because I'm a true Christian. While these fools are sitting there on a pulpit, sitting there telling them that they want some way where they can go and take gay people and try them and execute them. And you're just sitting there going, no, we just gotta stay in our faith. We gotta keep the. No, you don't. No. You literally don't. That's not how this works. And if you are a true Christian, then there are taking your faith. And the funny thing about it is, because I found this fascinating when I see a whole bunch of videos where I try to put shows together and put reels together and everything else. This is the one thing that I have found so irritating from the right. Stop politicizing everything. Fucker, you stop politicizing everything. Everything that you do is politics and power and wealth. Every decision that you make is for politics, power, and wealth. Power more than a lot of other things, but it's politics. Who you are dealing with, and things help me out because I put the number up the other day. Was it 7% of their base that feels this way?
Is what?
That feels this way.
Feels what way?
Put the 10
The
Commandments.
Republicans?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the number is, but I know that they hail from that same. It's 60% of the Republican base that holds to these things, which shakes out to somewhere like 20 to 30% as far as that wing of the American population. But I'm not sure as far as how that particular issue lines up. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But go ahead, finish your point before I start.
So this is what I have been saying for effing years. We're in our third year. I have been saying this since, year two. So a year. Start talking. Stop sitting on the sideline because your faith is being weaponized. That's what they're doing with it. And they're smart. I will give them that. They're very smart because they never, if you notice how their speech pattern goes, they only use God. It's very rarely they use Jesus. Very rarely do they use Jesus, but they real strong on using God's word and what God wants and everything else. Because the funny thing about it is, Old Testament, God. New Testament was Jesus. Look up New Testament and Jesus.
Your
audio's bad.
muffling again.
Probably because I'm yelling at the top of my freaking lungs. My point is, so I can speak clearly. Or my mother's in the house now, and don't you talk about God like that. So She done got to my audio again. But my point is, please start speaking up. Please start saying something. Please stop sitting on the sideline. This ain't going away because you go stay in your faith and you gonna stay in, let's call it the way it is. Stop thinking because you stay in your lane, this is gonna go away. It's not. White supremacy for years, for decades, for centuries have used Christianity to do the most heinous people to the other. Heinous things to the other that they deem others. I just wanted to show an example of what I'm saying about opening up your damn mouth. That a tragedy, if I could even say that, a tragedy that don't have to occur for you to say something, you can be proactive. This is a bill that was presented. This wasn't a bill. This was presented, and this guy went, "This sucks raw. This should not even came up for debate." And the lady basically balked. "I know you're trying to just get me to go a different direction. I ain't trying to get you to go no different direction. I want you to answer the damn question I just asked you." But that's their agenda. Remember, laminated paper, answer to any question that we have. I'm done, and I feel like this is our third year. I feel like I'll be saying this next year, and the year after, and the year after.
Oh, you'll be saying this next week. What are we talking?
And yeah, starting next week. So sorry, I went on a theist rant. Go ahead.
Well, Tracy, would you like to speak, or Anna?
Here's what I'll say. Roland raised some really good points. Here's what I also like to add. For a Republican Party that always talks about the 10 Commandments, they certainly break a whole lot of them. I mean, look, shall we go down the list of the 10? We got the "thou shalt not commit adultery." They do that. They got the "don't bear false witnesses." They do that. They covet things. They take those things. This party makes me sick. And they know what they're doing when they say to the average Christian God, they know it's like they're saying, "Wink, wink. We're really talking about Jesus, but we're not gonna say it because we know that's the we're trying to, oh, what is it, the word I'm trying to use? We're trying to unite people behind this. The 10 Commandments are accepted, and trust me, as a practicing Christian, no problems with the 10 Commandments. But again, it amazes me how many of those that the people on that committee probably broke, and they're wanting it to be just like he said, a poster. You don't really mean any of those, because one of the 10 Commandments is, of course, love God, but also love your neighbor as yourself. Are they really doing that with this type of wasteful of time? No, but it'll pass because it's Texas, and then it'll pass in Florida, and then it'll pass in Alabama, and then it'll pass in Indiana. And it'll just, we have to stop the Republican Party. That's really what I want to leave with, because this kind of stupidity is just like getting on my nerves. They weaponize religion. They know most people aren't gonna like be able to think through, so they use these. Well, things were better back then. No, they weren't. Things weren't better in the 50s when black people couldn't vote in all states, or you couldn't marry outside of your own race. They weren't better. They were better for you, but they weren't better for everybody. They go back to this nostalgic time that never existed, and they'll say, "Oh, the worst problem that schools had was chewing gum, and maybe somebody talking back, but now they're bringing guns to school." Gee, I don't know why a state that lets children carry guns. Gee, boy, I mean, you think you're gonna have problems with guns when you don't do background checks? Probably. I know none of what I just said makes any sense, but I ditto to everything Marlon said. But they need to be keeping more of them 10 Commandments and stopping then talking about let's put it up here. How about let's keep it? Let's keep it.
You make complete sense.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything you just said. You Christians, evil Janicus that Ben Dixon like to call them.
Oh, the evangelicals, yeah.
Evangelicals, yeah. That you Ben Dixon like to call them.
Yep.
You voted in a guy who darn near broke every commandment in the 10 Commandments.
Mm-hmm.
That's not hyperbole. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not even
hyperbole.
And that's not judging. It's just based off of what we know he
No.
did.
Go through the 10 Commandments and tell me which one he didn't break. Like, seriously, I'm not being funny. I'm not being hyperbole. I'm not trying to be,
because it's never about the values of, specifically again talking to Christians. It's not the values of Christ that they want. It's the control that they want. It's the control over people's lives. It's the control over women's autonomy. They're using religion to get that and to cover themselves to say, oh, I'm the only one that's righteous, or this group. Kind of like that so-called pastor who I'm like, if that guy's a pastor, then I have to be an archbishop. The one that said that if you vote Democrat, you're not Christian. Where's that? Like, what? Didn't base it off of anything in the Bible he actually read. Just spewing hate. I'm like, really? Really?
But he don't have to, because he's speaking. Sorry to use this word. He's speaking to his pulpit. He's speaking to the people who, it was just like the guy who sat there and said, if you're a witch, and I know who the witches are, and I know you're here, so if you're a witch, you need to get out of here.
Oh, that was the same guy. That was the same guy.
Yeah, that probably wasn't. I guarantee it probably wasn't the same. And you're a witch, and I know who you are, and I'll call you out, so you need to leave. You're speaking to a group of people who say, whatever, because they know. They purposely join a church, which if you want to going into a damn tent of church, cool. I know some churches start off small. I'm not jumping on
Jesus taught outside.
I'm
sure
not
did.
I'm not jumping on that. But
no, he's got quite a few people that go to his congregation.
No, I was going to say, though, is the church thing comes from the church revivals, the tent revivals they used to do that became very popular in the 80s. So he's doing that as a throwback to that. So that's where that part comes from. But I want to hit a couple points, and believe it or not, I'm going to be somewhere between where Marlon and Tracy are. So I'm guilty of doing this because oftentimes when I'm irritated or angry, I lump things so I can make my point and keep it moving. But I think it's important when we look at what the Republican Party actually is, and then look at examples that kind of mirror what they're doing. Okay. So what the Republican Party has successfully done, and they started this during the big switch when the parties realigned in the 60s, but it really crystallized when you had Ronald Reagan, and then you had the evangelist preachers come together and start speaking along the same point. Because what they did was they took Christianity and created a new religion. And I think that's where a lot of people are missing the boat, right? What we're looking at with these people are not big Christians. They're actually a whole new denomination that claim to be Christians, right? So they have taken American identity, white identity, and Christianity as a faith, brought it all together, and created a new religion. This is why you will hear them talk about God, but you don't really hear them talk about Jesus. Because under their new form of the religion, Jesus is not the focal point. God is, because it's more convenient. See, they are focused on Old Testament theory wrapped up with hand-picked pieces out of the New Testament, mainly focusing on the book of Revelation. So they are saying that America is the new Israel. They are saying that America is like you had Israel before, and now we're the new Israel, America is, and that this new land was opened up. And just like in the Old Testament, when God sent them into whatever the land of Canaan or whatever it was, and said, kill everybody, take the land. That's what they did here. They used the Bible to justify that, using those same types of scriptures for why they could do westward expansion, why they could do divine, whatever that thing was called, manifest destiny, all of that. So it looks like a new religion, but it's not a new religion. This is a very old religion. It's a uniquely American religion. And so long as we refuse to look at it for what it is, we'll keep doing what I sometimes do and just attack like all Christians. And one of the reasons I attack all Christians is because I also attack all religions. I have a problem with all of them. And the problem I have with them is not that they exist, but it's because you claim to hold yourself to a particular standard and a particular calling, and yet you do not walk in it and you do not trust in it. So for me, it upsets me because you're misleading people and you're actively recruiting people to join your team while being hypocritical about what your team does. That's where my anger and frustration comes in. But I am careful in my more somber moments to pull these things apart, right? So when I look at the real Christians, I don't know what those are, but let's say the real Christians, and I'm giving y'all a hard time, that is because there are things happening in this land right now, right? You have racial issues, you have crimes against all types of vulnerable communities. We have the all kinds of stuff going on. And I'm not saying that all Christians are being quiet, because that wouldn't be fair. It's not true. It's that, where are your leaders? Like, you're structured, right? If you're a religion, the Christian religion, the Muslim religion, you're all structured. Okay? So why are your pastors not leading the moral charge beyond the walls of their church? That's the problem, because that shows me you, the preacher, the minister, the one who is ordained by God, you don't believe in God. You don't trust God because you aren't speaking up for him when that's what you were called to do. Now, that is my criticism, but I have to kind of temper it a little bit because I chose to divorce myself from that religion. So I can't be but so critical because I'm not even a part of that crew. So how am I sitting here telling you what you're not doing? I got to be about what I'm supposed to be doing, right? The main difference being, though, you claim a higher calling and I don't. So when I look at it and I say, wait a minute, the things that I do, the things that I involve myself in, trying to take care of elders, children, whatever, the positions I hold, the views that I hold, if anyone ever wants to know what my religion is, I tell them, watch me. And you will get my religion. Just watch me. Convict me by what I do. Okay? But my Christian brothers and sisters are too placid in many cases, but it's not all of them. And then I have to be much more conscious, especially now, in not painting them all with the brush, because I made a point here. What that gentleman said in the video, he said that the greatest law is love thy neighbor. Not true. The greatest law is to love God
God.
and
Yep.
have no God before Him. That's the greatest law, right? Because the only law that I'm aware of, or the only thing that I'm aware of that God said He actually hates, is blasphemy on God. Okay.
Yeah,
So
you
if
close.
I'm close, okay, well, fix it for me before I move on.
Okay, so Jesus said that there was one sin that is unforgivable, and that is to blaspheme against the Holy Ghost. That is the
Okay.
only sin that cannot be forgiven.
Okay.
Okay,
So thank you.
for those, sorry, but can I, for those of us that don't
Don't know what
under,
that means? Yeah,
yes,
okay,
please.
so see, please, okay, so this is a whole long with Tracy answer. Tracy is not a theologian. Tracy is just a convert. It's to one, it depends on who you talk to. I would say it's to disrespect and disregard. That's what I would say. You're just totally disregarding the Holy Ghost. You're just saying, okay, that's it. I don't believe in you. You don't have any power. You don't have anything. You didn't come from God. You're just some made up imaginary thing.
Is the Holy Ghost specifically Jesus resurrected?
No,
Is
it's who's left when Jesus left the Holy Ghost when he ascended to heaven.
Yeah, it's subject now. That one,
oh
unfortunately,
wow.
okay. First of all, you have to be an adherent anyway,
Mhm.
in my view, for any of this to really truly appear to apply to you. But you're going to get different interpretations as far as how the Trinity works, depending
Okay.
upon how you were brought up and
Yeah,
how
because
that that was
I would say the Holy Spirit is God. I would say that's God
right
here on earth, walking us, moving us, and
there.
talking to us. Just like y'all
There,
heard me say, on several occasions, when I'm talking about Jesus, I'm talking about God. I made no
right. So that
process. I just
So they are one and the same, all three.
it
Sorry, three in
depends.
the same.
That's
yes,
my
it's a
point.
Trinity. Yeah, the
It
Trinity.
depends.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So in the Catholic, I mean not Catholic, in the Christian overarching thing, the way I was taught it is the Trinity is one and one is the Trinity, right? So
Okay.
they're just different ways of viewing God. When God the Father never came to the earth, but when God the Father did come to the earth, hear what I'm saying? I know it sounds funny, but follow me. When he
I am.
did come to earth, that was him sending us his son,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, who is
Mm-hmm.
also God.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Then when Jesus left, okay, then he left the Holy Spirit to work amongst all of us. So but if you really just draw out, all it's really saying is God is, right? There's
Okay.
literally, if you
Yeah.
want to define God, God is.
Yep.
So
Thank you. Thank you
he's
very much.
all of
I
those things,
appreciate
Yeah.
the
right?
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sis, for the
But
help because I was like, and what you want to do?
all
but
of
what I
this,
was
all of this, Tracy. So you cannot jump on me anymore. All of this is going to be in the replay. But go ahead, Theus.
but then the point I was going to make, and this is really, really important to me, I'd say, is America, for the vast majority of America's existence, has been an apartheid state. Okay, we have only been post-apartheid since the mid to late 1960s. Okay, and we've struggled ever since then. And the struggle with America from the beginning has been who deserves to call themselves an American. Now, ride with me. I'm taking you somewhere.
yeah.
So America has always struggled with who gets to qualify to be an American,
Mm-hmm.
and it practiced apartheid, forced
Right.
segregation.
Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go too far in the weeds, but there's de jure and there's de facto as far as how rules are made and customs and all of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of that. Now, look at our closest counterpart currently. Many people, when I say that, are going to think England. No, our closest counterpart currently is Israel. Okay? Because when you start to bring the religious conversation in, you start looking at new Israel, America, and Israel. Okay? And what are they doing?
I see what you're
Apartheid
saying.
state, right?
Wow.
What are they doing? Fighting over who is qualified to be considered an Israeli. They're
Right.
literally fighting over that. They're saying that if you don't believe in this particular religion, then you can't even have a voice in this government. That's where America's trying to go as well, right? But like
Yeah.
Tracy said, this is all being done as well as a way of power because South Africa did it, America did it, England or the UK has done it, Israel's doing it, where the minority population wants to preserve its power at any cost. And they will change the government structure, they will change the religious structure, they will change anything they have to keep that.
Anything that gets in their way.
Exactly. So I think it's really important. If you hear this, it's going to sound like a SAT thing, but this is what it is. A Zionist is to a white nationalist what what Christianity is to Judaism. Okay? Break that apart. Christianity is a faith. It is a belief system. You cannot judge a belief system by its adherents. You can only judge it by its nature. So Christianity is not at fault. Judaism is not at fault. Zionism is taking Judaism and your political objectives, blending them together, establishing an identity under that, and then saying that we are now the ambassadors of Judaism, do as we say under the force of religion, even though we are not using religion, we're just using it as a shield. White nationalists are doing the same thing here. They are saying that we are Christians, but none of our actions have to be Christian, but we're using it as a shield. Because if you come against us, we're going to say you're going against Christianity, right? And that is the dynamic that we're dealing with when you allow a religion to become an identity. So while we're fighting all these fights back and forth, Trumpism is just a leg of the white nationalist identity. Because everyone on the conservative party right now, they're fighting with what is their identity. Some don't like being called a white nationalist, so they call themselves Christian nationalists.
Yeah.
Right? Some don't like being called a Christian nationalist, so they call themselves a patriot. Some don't like being called a patriot, so they call themselves a conservative. But they're all fighting for what are they hiding behind the shield of Christianity, though they do not follow it. And it's important that we know those things so that when we are fighting each other, we know what we're fighting. And I think that is truly getting missed. So when we talk about the 10 Commandments, I'm going to hit this real quick, Marlon. So 10 Commandments. Think about this. The Republican Party, the conservative wing of this country right now, what are the things that they're saying that a teacher cannot do? A teacher cannot teach or discuss or address sexual identity, sex ed, or anything down that path. Now, 10 Commandments. Number 1, you shall have no other gods before me. Okay? Like the man said in the video, what did you just say to the Buddhist child? What did you just say to the Muslim child? What did you just say to the non-believer? You just told them that you do not matter here.
Yep,
you must worship our Christian God. Number 2, you shall not make idols. But you're going to put up this graven image, in effect, that everybody's supposed to stare at, pledge allegiance to, and follow. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Which God? Well, you're going by the 10 Commandments. So either you talking Jewish or you talking Christian, which is the same God. So now you're telling anybody who doesn't believe as you do that they don't even believe in the right God. All right. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. What is a third grader going to do with that verse? I can't explain it to you because for some people the Sabbath is Saturday, for others the Sabbath is Sunday.
Yep.
Explain that to a third grader without indoctrinating them.
Yeah.
Number 5, honor your mother and your father. That's a nice one. That's good. Hey, that's just being decent. I can't argue with that one. Okay, but it's kind of hard to say you got to. But yeah, What if your mother or your father is abusing you, though? What are you saying to that child? Okay. Now, number 6, you shall not murder. Yeah, you're not supposed to murder people. I'm with that one.
That's good.
Yeah, I appreciate that one.
Yeah, but you
Number
could say
7.
stop sending people to unjust wars that you caused, but hey, whatever.
Thank you. Starvation is murder by another means.
Yep.
Okay.
I apologize that I didn't pull over fast enough for you, cop. But I'm sorry.
Number 7, you shall not commit adultery. How do you have that conversation with a 3rd grader?
Right.
And
how do you do it? And you talking sex now.
Yeah.
We're talking sex now. Okay.
Ooh.
You shall not steal. Well, you got to define what stealing is, and then explain how we became a country and how we, it can get complicated. But you're not allowed to teach the context of history, so that even makes that one hard. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Okay, but I'm 9. Can you explain that for me?
Don't lie. That's what it. Yeah, that's what.
But is it really
Be
though?
truthful.
Because false witness just means not. But I'm saying not lying and not bearing false witness, not the same thing.
I apologize.
Okay.
But it's kind of ironic to me that we have politicians, and one part of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. This is what you won't continue, Thea. Sorry.
Literally, bearing false witness against your neighbor is lying specifically about a person, not just lying.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So what Republicans and Democrats do to each other daily is lie about each other. They tell half truths, partial truths, and all kinds of stuff. So you telling me that you want to put this thing up here for everybody to have to follow, but the very nature of your business is contrary to it. How can you enforce something like that? Right?
What's 10?
Do not bear false witnesses against thy neighbor. And that's why we got the fire hunters Biden's laptop.
Yeah, we gotta find it. We gotta find what's on it.
Right? It's so crazy. And then the last one, you shall not covet. Okay. Explain that one to a 3rd grader. Right? Don't envy what somebody else has. Okay. You first.
You're right.
Explain capitalism if I can't covet.
Capitalism is based off of coveting.
Yep.
So it's like, this is where people like me who stand outside of religion get so angry because I believe in God. I believe in God's creation. I believe in God's divine order. I reject the tenets that you put inside of your religion because I see what it does to God's creation, and I reject that. So when I'm looking at this here, all I'm seeing is this is great for people who have ascribed to your religion. But to impose this on someone else, how would you feel if the next president, and I know how you would feel, but how would you feel if the next president was Muslim and he came in with the Quran and said, we are now going to put in our rules? You would
that would
immediately
never
label
happen.
everything a madrasa, and you would name everything a cult, and you would bomb and burn this country down. But it's okay because it's your God.
Yeah, and it's not. But that's our whole theory. That's our whole theory.
Sorry about that long.
No, because I'm gonna tell you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
What you said is, you are so corporate, capitalist, as it may, that you really figure that you cornerstone God.
Trademark, hashtag.
All of it. You have you remember earlier when I said that You have used the religion of Christianity to do heinous people to others. And then I said, and you also are the people who decide who others are.
Right.
That is capitalism. That you make all the decisions and rules and regulations and bylaws and anything else. If I'm missing something else, just let me know.
I was just gonna say the only thing I was gonna say, and this is just my little encapsulation, is I would be okay with whatever, and I am okay with whatever your religion is, whatever your faith or non-faith is. I think that we're all just trying to figure it out, and no one, in my opinion, no one knows the truth. The only truth that is truly known is unknown to us because the Creator doesn't talk directly to us. But if you want to spread your religion according to what you interpret your God has said that you to do, if you're doing it by convincing, I am okay with you, do your thing. If you are doing it by commanding, I am opposed to you no matter what you believe in. You want to have rallies and convince people why you are right? Hey, we'll deal with the effects thereafter, like we're dealing with the Trump people.
Right.
But if you are commanding, I'm against you.
I'm against you. Church of Satan is already on it. Yeah, there is. And LL help me out because I wanted to think one is Wisconsin. And there's another state.
There's an actual Church of Satan?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's okay.
Yeah. And they went to a judge and
they do
and it was
they
on
do
this
actually good work.
situation that they
It's
said,
crazy.
okay,
Really?
okay, if you want to put the 10 Commandments in church, then we are allowed to put our covenant in church.
You mean school?
School.
In schools.
If you want to put the 10 Commandments in school, we are allowed to put our covenant in schools. And the judge agreed.
Had to.
Either you're going to open up to all religions or we're going to shut down all religions. Because I don't even know what the video was. I don't show it. I didn't show it because this is correct on one thing that he said 2 weeks ago. I hate saying that. I love coming on this show every week. But 2 weeks ago, when he said, I hate listening to podcasters who are speaking to people who they know they're more educated than, that they know they have no idea what the hell they're talking about, and they're just
when he was going against that guy because it's bad.
Yeah. And one of the guys was like, a Christian, and America was born on an understanding of Christianity, and the guy was like, no, it wasn't. America was not born on Christianity. It really wasn't. You need to look that up. And I didn't want to show that video because, again, a pet peeve of mine, if you're new here, it's a pet peeve of mine. If you're going to talk, research. I have no problem. There's nobody on this panel right now who has a problem going toe for toe for you on situations, topics. I have no problem with it. I may learn something. I really do. What I have a problem
with... In fact, I'm hungry for it. Please.
Yes. I have no problem with it. Like I said, I love to learn. I don't know everything. I may learn something from you. What I can't stand is when you just throw stuff out there and it's like, dude, that is so not right. And it took what's the Google thing? 0.33333 seconds to find out that what you're saying is not correct. But you're coming on here rambling. It's the comments that I get where the guy was like, if you notice in my comments, where I just say thanks for watching,
Mhm.
It's not really. It really is. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thank
Mhm.
you. The other
Yeah.
part of me is thanks for watching because I'm not going to argue with you when there's certain things that you can research yourself. I'm
No,
not your.
Marlon. They
I'm
gotta
not
go to
your.
no,
I'm not your
Marlon.
teacher. I'm not your teacher. This
But
is not what
Marlon. They gotta go to page 215 of the
I.
Google
I
search.
get
They
that.
gotta jump way. Forget about
But
that. They gotta
somebody
jump way, 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 way. Just like that
they gotta
video.
find. They gotta find a 2017 blog. Not even a blog. 2017 blog. This is the deal about research, and I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna help anybody that's new here. This is the thing about research. That research is issue research. Oh, doggone it.
Conclusion.
Hypothesis conclusion.
Ah.
Problem research hypothesis conclusion.
You sure? I think the hypothesis would come before the research because you have to
Yeah, you're right.
state
You're
what your
right.
best
Right.
guess
You're
is.
absolutely right. You're absolutely
Your
right. You
guess.
have to research the hypothesis. Yeah.
Yeah.
So problem, hypothesis, research, conclusion. You come with answer, conclusion, and then you hypothesize how you can research to get back to your conclusion.
Yeah, they go find whatever justifies the decision they've already made,
Right.
and and I'm 100% with you. And those people are actually kind of fun to debate, but
I
it can be
can't. I
frustrating
don't
too.
have the energy no
Um,
more. I don't.
but I think with all that stuff that I was saying, one point that really got lost, and I want to make sure I'm very crystal clear on this. All right, my Christian family, I'm not against you. I'm actually with you, and I understand, which is part of what I was trying to get at, that a significant part of the identity of your faith has been hijacked. These are not true followers of Christ, and they just
Thank
happen to
you.
be loud. And so they are the ones who are getting all the credit for wearing your name. And it's easy for me on the outside to say to you that you need to be louder and you need to fight this way or fight that way. I'm not in your camp. So I really cannot make that kind of a demand on you. What I can say to you is if you do decide that you're ready or willing to stand up and be more vocal and stand on your principles and push back against these usurpers, you will find a friend in me. You will find a friend in so many of us who are of Muslim faith or any
You'll
other
find it
number
in
of
me.
faiths because we're all waiting on each other. The problem is somebody has to go first, and I'm not even saying that it needs to be you. I'm just saying when you decide to move, you will not be as alone as you think you are. And it's unfair for me or anybody else who is outside to tell you what to do. We just wish you would do something more than what is being done because we're fighting without you right now.
We really are. We're taking up. What should I say?
There are a lot of
You didn't see my pajamas.
if you search for Christians speaking up, I have found, because I did need to hear somebody talking about Jesus equals love and this, whatever the thing in America is going on, this is not love. This is not,
This is Americanism.
that is being said.
There's a guy. There's a either a rabbi or he Catholic in it. He has a channel specifically on this subject, and he's very good. He is really
But
good.
that's one of the points that Tracy has tried to make for us multiple times. Just because you don't hear it doesn't mean it's not
being
happening.
said.
Right?
Exactly.
It's happening. And my biggest critique is I'm glad because I know people. I talk to people. All that. I'm with you. This stuff is happening.
It's happening
Where
in
my
pockets.
critique does come back, huh?
It's happening in pockets.
I
It's
got a
happening in pockets,
whole
but it's the only
different
way.
opinion on this one.
But it's the only way it can happen, right? In a manner of speaking, it can only happen in pockets in a manner of speaking. But what I was going to say though is, you have designated leaders. Like my original point, you have actually designated leaders. So your leaders need to be more vocal where other people can hear it, not just inside of your church house. Those people already are there. They are already on your team. They already hear you. And I need you to talk to them because a lot of the evangelical churches have lost control of their congregation. But it's two sides, right? One, we need to be less critical because we're not in your shoes, right? And then two, y'all got to step up a little bit more from your leadership standpoint, because it's just these people just not they're not doing it. And then on the third point, the media, which I hold accountable for a lot of the mess in America, they make sure they don't put the microphone in front of certain people.
You just said exactly what I was about to say, because this is where I'm about to disagree with not everything you said, because most of the part you said. There are people speaking out. There are Christian leaders speaking out. But guess what? They don't have the mega churches, so nobody's listening to them. And so I wish, like you said, I wish we would stop saying, well, nobody's saying anything. I don't think I'm nobody. I'm pretty sure I think I'm somebody. Now, I may be a small voice with a big mouth, but I may be a small voice with a big mouth. But I'm not a leader. And I understand your point. Leadership needs to say something. But my point is, there are some leaders, pastors, bishops, what all other million titles they have.
Whatever title they wear.
Yeah, because they got a bunch of them. I mean, they got a bunch of them. But whatever titles that they wear, they're in leadership. They're saying something, but they're not getting the microphones in their mouth because they're not the Joel Osteens. They're not the T.D. Jakes. They're not the Rod Parsons. They're not. They're not the
ones who have already gained control of celebrity and the stage.
Yeah,
and
we like
the ones who have
we
that
want to watch.
position,
The problem with America, we want to watch a show.
We want to watch a train wreck.
Exactly. Yes. And until
we would rather tune in to see the hypocrite than see the teacher.
Exactly. We want to see the students misbehave, but not the teacher. What do I want to see that person for? It would be impactful. You know, it would be way more impactful if a mega church pastor said something about George Floyd or any of those things. One, they're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it because the majority of their audience is white, even if they are black themselves. Let's just keep it 1 in 100. But
there's something there for white people too.
No, but I'm saying they're not gonna. They're not gonna step on those toes.
I know.
Yeah, they don't want to mess with the money.
Yeah,
and then on top of that, just not even talking about the money. And this is,
the influence, the prestige, the whole.
Well, not only that, we are in the same movie. America is like a stage player, whatever you want to call it. We just keep changing the actors to play the role.
All right.
So when and you touched a nerve, and I know not what you meant, but it's like, this is just one of those little things for me.
Sorry.
Anything that even no. You made a good point. I'm just saying, for me, it comes across almost like, because you were like, well, white people need to hear it too. They do. And the thing is, they can hear it anytime they want to. But they have the ability to opt out of it, so they don't. And I am so tired of the cost to convince white people is paid in our blood. And I'm constantly being told, don't give up on the white community. Don't give up don't put all white people in the same bucket. I know not to put all white people in the same bucket. If all white people were bad, this world would be way worse than it is. But what I am saying to you is, we can't tell the good ones from the bad ones until it's either too late or irrelevant.
Right.
So you come across the good ones, it's irrelevant. No harm, no foul. Probably had a great experience or a non-experience or whatever experience. They're just people. come across a bad one, that could be your life.
Yep.
So it's like I am so it gets right under my skin to even think about. It's my responsibility. Third, fourth,
I was not
fourth
saying it was
generation out
your
of slavery.
responsibility.
I'm not saying, I know you didn't, but this
Okay.
is what I get.
I
Right?
really
When I'm in these
believe it is
subthreads,
people,
and
my cousin's responsibility to talk to
I
us.
ain't trying to convince
Yeah, I think.
nobody.
But this was the deal.
I think what Anna is
started to
saying though
say.
is her responsibility to speak to people that look like her,
Yeah,
because
but
I
this is what
I
Right. No,
can't
I
do
agree.
it.
what I've been saying at the beginning of the show when I even started this show. I am no longer. I refuse. And for a certain period of time, I actually slipped. A little bit, and then I got right back to it because America pissed me off again. I'm not doing this damn absolute bullshit anymore with anybody. When I say stuff, not all white people, not all black people, not all gay people, not all trans. I'm not doing this with you. I refuse to do this with you. If I say something and it triggers you, you probably the fucking person I'm talking to.
But
I'm sorry, but
Well,
not sorry.
but
I'm not doing this
by what you
absolute
just
crap
said,
with you. I'm not
what
gonna
Anna
sit
was
here-
saying,
I'm not gonna sit here and say something and after every sentence go, well, not all. I'm not doing
But
this.
that's not Martin. You
I'm
missing the
with you,
forest
but
from
that's
the
not.
trees.
But what I was saying is, I know that when Anna said what she said, it wasn't all, right?
Oh, no, I'm not even talking about
But I
Anna.
was
I'm
still
talking
triggered.
about
I know, but Marlon, hear what I'm saying. I know that when she said what she said, she wasn't saying all. I still was triggered, even knowing that. And so I spoke to that. So I agree with you. You can never have any real conversation of every time you're having a conversation, you're like, well, except for Billy, and
Ronald and Mike and then Carl and then
you can't make no point that way.
Ronnie,
I
Bobby,
agree with
Ricky,
you,
Michael,
Marlon, 100%. Right? But what I'm getting at is it still has continued to be.
that for
I
anybody
have
that's
one
new
thing
to
that I
the
really
show.
want to get over
Oh, go ahead,
everybody's
Tracy, because I've been running my
head.
mouth.
If there's no peppermint patty, there's no peace. That's what I want to say today.
Now, why did you want to say that, Tracy?
That's her. No, obvious. Come on. Why would you do that?
I just had to say something to lighten the load.
We were in a great place.
If you're offended, that is your problem. That's not
Yes.
what I'm. That
I agree, 100%. Mm-hmm.
And you may
You
be
should look at why you
not
are
even be
offended.
that person. You may not be that person that I
And
say
y'all
or
went right
what we
back.
say. I apologize.
Trying to give y'all easy out. Trying to give y'all easy out.
No. You may not be that person that we are talking about. You may not be anywhere near the person that we are talking about. I get that.
Or you might be.
But one, you may be, or two, you know somebody who is. I don't have the time phrase to keep going. I didn't mean you. I didn't mean everybody. I'm not doing that. I'm just not.
Well, sometimes I will do that because
I can't.
I
can't have it. I can't do that no more.
I'm with you, and I don't blame you. And I'm probably one of the more hard-hearted out of the four of us as far as how I view certain things, especially when it comes to matters of race. But the thing is, I believe, wholeheartedly believe, that everybody is a complicated person. Everybody. So while I think I see fairly clearly when it comes to race, and I see fairly clearly when it comes to children, and I see fairly clearly when it comes to the queer community, I know I got some major blind spots when it comes to women. I got blind spots when it comes to Christian. You see what I'm saying? It's like we're all complicated. So just because you strong over here, you a mess over here. So can you acknowledge that so then you can grow from it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if you can't grow from it and you can't acknowledge it, then you're going to get your butt on your shoulders every time.
I I was giving y'all an easy
100%.
out, and y'all just kept coming back.
I'm so right at this point in time. I'm going to say this live.
I'm into the conversation. Sorry.
I'm so disappointed in this. I am so you. I am so disappointed in this.
What did I do?
You had it right there.
What?
I see clearly now. The rain is gone.
I don't know that song that well.
You don't know that song?
I mean, I know it, but I don't.
I
I know it enough.
Obstacles in my way.
You had it right there.
But I don't know that song to the point that would come up in my head. Like I know the song.
I'm sorry, I must be so
watched
doggone
Kodak commercials growing up.
Doggone sleepy that the first thing that popped in my head was, I see clearly now.
It's gonna be a bright.
Because I would have figured you would have went with
sunshine.
I would have going, they singing now. That's what I would have figured you would have done. But
oh, please don't ever. If we don't ever do nothing, never do that. Never.
All right,
They
everybody.
can see me now.
Let's go ahead and show the last video of the
But
night.
I'm very, very sorry, but I really would love to hear Theus to his completion, and I'm not sure if you were done.
I talk so much, you can consider me done.
He don't know when he's
Yeah,
done.
because it's almost Sunday again.
He literally has no idea that he's done. But trust me,
I got so much in my head that it just keeps coming.
Trust me, it'll come up again.
Just invite him to one of your Zoom calls where you're doing a show and say, hey, this is going to be a 45-minute discussion, and somehow 2 hours later.
That's why I don't get on this. I explained to my mom, and I apologize, I'll make this as quick as I possibly can. That's why I actually...
How can I do that on my channel?
I talked to my mama about you, Theus. That's why I talked to my mama
about
But
not me and Anna. No, we don't.
No, because this was not an issue with you and Anna. Tracy.
Oh, you're talking about an issue. Just
yes.
We come up to mama, right? We're family.
Everybody knows you. My whole family knows you. My whole family knows you.
Do they know what we look like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My daughter literally asked, "Where's Tracy?" one day. She really did. And my other daughter goes, "Oh, I like Anna. I like Anna more." My wife.
Nobody likes Theus.
My wife likes Theus. Yeah.
Thank you.
And my sister.
And I like Marlon. And I like Tracy. That's why I love being on this panel. Getting to pick your brains.
You don't understand. I know I have to do it. I know I'm gonna get on subject. I know I have to do it for the greater good of taking a weekend off. And I apologize, but I'm gonna continue doing it because I have to.
You're not apologizing.
I have to do it. But oh my God, I miss not doing this. It just is something in me that I can't. I finally found something that one, I'm good at.
The conversation is,
and two, I enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can sit here and tell you the irritation, the aggravation, the frustration, the blah blah blah. I know that I do. I say that, but ha ha ha. But it really is ha 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 being funny. I don't like missing a weekend. I have to constantly do it because there are certain things that's more important.
But we all love Foxy, and Foxy needs Foxy time.
I have to be with my Foxy, but I do miss it. I do miss it. And Thea gave me some great advice yesterday. Must have been yesterday.
These are blending together, aren't they?
Yeah. So my deal is I told my mom so I can get back on track because we have one more video to show. That this I'm gonna tell you exactly what I said because this is in Atlanta. He can't whoop my ass. I'm sick and tired of Thea's coming out here talking about he needs to slow down and stop talking and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And it's like, there's nobody on the show that sit there and says, Thea, you need to stop talking so much. You need to do less talking. Now, I wouldn't even bring the subject up if the subject didn't come up more than one time. And go ahead, Anna.
Okay. You keep on coming back to an angle on the theist examining himself, and this is totally what I have viewed from the outside, what Theus has said. It is because Tracy and I spoke up that sometimes we found it hard to interject.
I'm so glad you said that, Anna. I really am.
And I'm sorry, I keep sucking at being quiet. I tried, but
No,
I'm
that
always
wasn't
supposed to be quiet.
it all started when I said it all started when I said
nobody says nothing. Hold on. Because I'm gonna get on Anna now.
Go ahead.
2 weeks ago.
Watch what you say.
Yep, I'm gonna say it. You in Atlanta. You can't touch me. 2 weeks ago.
I wouldn't touch you anyway, man. Family.
That's why you touch him, because he family. Hello?
You know you can always talk shit when nobody's near you. 2 weeks ago, I looked at our shows. Anna tore it up. She was talking, communicating, adding on to, and everything else. See, Tracy, I don't never really need to say anything about you, and I don't want you to take it as nobody talked about Tracy. Because Tracy, you're good. You've been good since the freaking beginning. So it's kind of hard to keep saying time after time after time and week after week after week. Tracy, you're good. Tracy, you're good. Tracy, you're good. You was here before me. So yeah, you're fantastic. And I have caught times when Anna is just, no, I don't want to do nothing. No, because Thea is talking. No.
But when
and then 2 weeks ago, Anna tore the freaking walls down. I had to look at the show again and go, wait a minute.
To watch this again. What did I do?
You was in the show. You talked. You communicated. You was adding everything throughout the show. Plus, I got something that nobody on this show can say. I was the one that told Anna. And Anna, I'm just going to put this out here so you can be the person that says it. Anna said, you know what? I'm going to go back and start doing shows. Anna, what did I tell you when you said you was going to start doing shows again?
Come on here. Because you need to practice.
Right. So what I tell everybody on this panel, it's not hyperbole. I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. So what I tell Thea's, if you was talking and you're just saying stuff and rambling, which you like to say a lot, I'm just rambling. And I sit there and look at old videos and go, every freaking thing that's coming out of this Marvel's mouth makes absolute sense. Why?
It's not much about the time that he takes it up. It's the fact that he has very much increased his awareness. And I really appreciate that.
And so have you. It took time. It took effort. I get that. But that's what this is about. Just open it up. And by the way, Anna, let me throw something in there. I don't know if Thea said it on the show, or he may have said it at me. And again, he's in Atlanta. He can't touch me. But the point is, Thea did not say, I need to stop talking less because of self-awareness.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I can literally tell you exactly what you said.
What did he say?
I need to stop talking because some people were saying that I was talking too much. And I literally asked you, so?
No, he actually said he was gonna stop talking.
You was, but he did
more.
at the beginning said I was self-awareness. I was doing self-awareness to stop talking. And I was like, okay. And then you came out and said, because I was talking to some people that says that I just keep rambling on. I'm like, no.
See, I don't remember that, and I don't remember that way.
I remember that.
But
I
here's the
think the
reason.
conversation went way different than what I remember.
Yeah, so I'll
mind,
speak
this
on
is
it
not
this
gonna be a
way.
replay.
Yeah, I'll speak on it this way. The reason why I say I needed this, because one, if I want to get better at this thing, I have to get better at listening. And you can't listen if you're talking.
Right.
That's one piece.
Right.
Two, that old Baptist teaching is still in me. So that, no, I'm saying, so that others can increase, I must decrease. Right? So if you want to increase something, whatever is occupying that space needs to come down some. That's not a bad thing. It's recalibrating.
Wait, can you put that back up? I didn't get to read it.
I get what he's saying, and LL, I get that you do.
But
like
that was not the reason that you stopped it. It was because I said
no.
Something.
I promise you, it wasn't because of you.
I think it was because of me.
I can see where you might think that, but I had been saying it before you expressed your concern. But when you expressed your concern, it did help crystallize for me. Yes, that is a concern. Now, you said you weren't talking about me in particular, but I occupy most of the oxygen. So I don't ever want to be like that. And that's why when I watch the shows and I'm not present, I sit here and can watch and see how much more engaged and all the things you contribute, you and Anna contribute, which is proof positive to me that I am in the way. I'm not meaning that in a negative way. I'm saying that I have to develop myself to be a better partner for my partner.
Until we had a show where Anna and Tracy was in it. Here's the deal. This is why I don't stop you.
Because you shouldn't.
I should. But my mom asked the question. That I've been saying. Because she said, but is he rambling or is he making good points? And I said,
he's making.
That's what my point. That's my problem with is if you look at his videos, he's making good points all the way through. So it's kind of hard to go, Thea, stop. Whoa, Thea, stop. You've been talking for 20 minutes straight. Stop. It's hard to do that when you're still contributing.
Which is why the responsibility falls on me, not you, not Anna, not Tracy. It falls on me. I'm the one who has so much running in my head. My brain never stops. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all being hard on ourselves. I mean,
I like he is exactly the way he is, and I don't want.
I think we're all doing that. We all did it. It started me thinking, hey, and I still think it. Me thinking, you know what? My intellectual contribution, really, girl? No, you're not. No. Self-assessment. I still don't think I'm the smartest person on here. I'm just common sense smart. That's what I am. I'm common sense smart.
Foxy laughs more at the stuff that comes out of your mouth than any of us on here.
But she laughs, but she doesn't necessarily take what I say seriously. Because most of the time, when people do that all the time, they'll laugh at things I say, and I'm like, no, I'm being serious. I'm not joking. Stop laughing. I've done that my whole life. So I think the show is better with just 3 of you guys.
Okay, I need to stop because
I'm gonna be sleeping church. Well, no, I won't because it's anniversary day. So no, it's gonna be a lot of activity.
Just turn to your neighbor.
Yep, but I think that's where the whole thing started because I was contemplating not coming back because I'm like I don't think that I add anything, especially when y'all go deep. I'm like, okay, what? Huh? Hey, what?
That you do.
I don't see it. Thea says he rambles too much, even though I was like, hey, he had it more to our conversation than when I said name the 5 people that you wouldn't want to be that you would want to be president.
Mm.
I didn't even think of Raphael. His name didn't even pop in my head until he said it. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think
Who?
about that.
Well,
Raphael Warden.
here's the good. Here's the good.
Oh,
Here
you
is
gotta
the good.
watch a show.
Yeah, you gotta watch the show. It'll be
Gotta
out
watch
tomorrow.
the show.
You gotta watch it tomorrow. You gotta
All
watch it
right.
tomorrow. Whole
Okay.
thing,
Here's the
2-hour
good news.
discussion. Not on that subject, but just watch it.
Here's the good news about it. We are here.
Yep. We're like the super friends.
We're
We
going
come
on.
together.
We're going on 3 hours.
We use
I
our
do
powers
not
for
want to
good.
go into 3 hours, 3 years. I do not want to go
hours,
into the 4th and 5th year of still holding this conversation. So I am going to pull an executive decision.
Mm.
Ain't nothing wrong with none of y'all. Stop it. Thank you.
But all I'm good at is interviews. That's pretty much all I do well.
No, disagree.
Hey, I know we are recording at this moment, but
Yes.
I am going to throw this out there as a contributing editor, background stagehand.
What?
Well, you're the executive producer, and I help rearrange the plants. But I think that the reason this platform has grown as much as it has and will continue to grow is because of your stewardship, Marlon.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Nope.
Agree.
Nope.
This is your platform.
Nope.
Look, Marlon, you went from 100 and
It's a part.
Nope.
It's a part. It's
Nope. We have been. Put your hand down. We have grown together. And Anna's still talking. What the? We have grown together. I appreciate everything they have contributed to this show. We are growing. I honestly. I'm sorry. Like I said, I can still see them and they irritate the crap out of me. This show would not have grown without them. Tracy, grow up. This show would not have grown without them. I appreciate everything they've done. And you know what? I'll bring everybody back up. And
Thank you. Now let me finish my point.
And the point is, I'm not going to let him finish. I'm just not.
Marlon, this is your channel. It's grown tremendously. You've done a fantastic job.
The point is, okay, I'm going to bring everybody on.
Can I finish my point?
I'm bringing everybody on, but I'll do this.
Can I finish my point?
How you gonna unmute somebody? You don't unmute me. And I'm going to keep unmuting myself.
Let me finish. Let me just say this real quick. This is why I stopped y'all from talking.
Because you being a bully.
Okay, I don't know if that's how bullying works, but okay.
You got the switch. You pushing the button.
Right. You keep coming back. I would not. Did I still mute? Sorry. Sorry. Again, this is why I stopped y'all from saying what y'all said. When I started this show, it was me. I didn't think it was going to grow. and it didn't. I was correct on that. It didn't grow, but I kept at it, and I kept at it, and I kept at it.
It's not grow.
It didn't grow until I had these fabulous people on the freaking show. You know what? Never mind. I'll tell you what. I'm going to change everything.
All right. So look, now that he gave us a second. So this is what the point I was making. The point I was making is Marlon's dedication and his management style is why I feel the platform has been able to grow the way that it has grown. The fact that he takes this very seriously, he runs this as a business. Folks out there who are watching, thank you so much for subscribing and supporting us at our growth.
Indeed.
And we just wanted to make sure we give my man his flowers while we can give him his flowers, because he is not just a major part of the panel. He is also what helps keep this thing running when I can't be here, or Anna can't be here, or Tracy can't be here, right? So that's the point I was making on Marlon. And then I was going to make the next point, which was I love when I see the ladies on the show and I'm not present, because I like how you guys vibe off of each other. So that, I think that's a beautiful thing, and I really appreciate that. And then I appreciate the fact that I'm able to be here and get some stuff off my head and share in the conversations and react to things. And you guys force me to not always be so darn serious. So this whole thing, the growth that we're having, is because of how well all four of us work together to do it. And I just think that that's a great thing. And being self-aware and trying to refine some things so we can grow even bigger and even faster, I think is a good thing. So if Marlon is done pouting,
he could come back on.
Yes, because this is
to his
his
own
channel.
to his own
This
self.
is your channel that grew from 100 to 181. Come on now. Come on. It ain't just everybody that can get
But by the way, I do
subscribers
want
week
to
after week after
throw
week
this in
after
here.
week.
When is the next episode of Bugle Boys and Nikes?
Well, since I'm in a play now, we don't know when that's gonna be, because
Right. We got to let her play probably ride out, because
yeah. So
that's
we're
going to
thinking,
be.
well, August, and the show is called. I'm not gonna go
Bell
with.
bottoms and open toes.
We're not going through this with y'all. That's why y'all not gonna be on the show. That's why y'all two ain't gonna be in there. We'll welcome any other man. Not these two. We won't. No, we won't.
I
No.
got man feet. You don't want to see my feet.
Wow. You don't want to see my feet either.
Oh, you want to see mine? My feet are
No.
pretty. So, boo all y'all.
You can see him. You ain't gonna forget him, but you can see him.
No.
My feet are so pretty. You'll be like,
Don't
oh,
get
look at
the
them feet.
foot fetish. I
can look at
never
my feet
did.
all you
Yes,
want
if you
to.
have a foot fetish, tune into high heels and blue jeans. Period.
No, that's not what we're saying.
But that's not
No,
what.
that's
No,
when you
but we.
set up an
No.
OnlyFans.
If you
Get
are,
paid for your talent.
You
if
made
you are
my
into,
voice.
Oh yeah.
if you are into horror movies, you can come watch my feet.
But no, we don't know when the next episode's going to be, because I'm in the play now, and that doesn't end until July.
All right, let me go ahead and play
So
this
probably
video
August.
because we're
Yeah,
getting,
probably August.
yeah, we're getting really late. Oh, by the way, I haven't needed to discuss it with Diaz, but there is a. I'll throw it out there because Diaz can, again, is in Atlanta. I can't whoop my ass. A new episode of Friday Night Guys. You know, coming sometime.
Is there another holiday coming?
July 4th, Memorial Day.
No, Memorial Day.
Yeah,
this
Memorial Day is May.
Really?
Yep.
May
Oh, and I guess next
31st.
weekend is Mother's Day. So,
Oh,
for those-
yeah, that's right, y'all. I mean,
yeah. So for those whose mothers are still with them, make sure you give Mama some love. For those of you whose mother is already gone on, you know, maybe find somebody to love on. Definitely love on yourself, because that's what your mama would do for you. And yeah, because I know next weekend, Mother's Day, ain't no telling where I'm gonna be at. You know,
with your wife and your mother.
I'm gonna be wherever my wife and my mama is. So,
basically.
Or with your kids.
God, dog, denim and chapstick. Good.
See, why are they making fun of our show? Sure, at first we were unsure of the title, but now we have it. So
you didn't see that, Diaz?
No, I'm with it. but my lips are dry. So when I read chapsticks, I started sucking on my lips. It was like involuntary.
All right, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and move on because we're gonna have to get out of here. Like I said, I'm running 5 hours of sleep. So
My brain is breaking. Yeah.
okay.
Well, it's tomorrow, so you gotta cancel the 5 hours out. It's over.
Whatever. My body says you a lie.
But
we need more people like this.
Do you see any other independent outlets here? No, I do not. We're here like we always are. Let me see if I can get others. Come on. What's your name?
I'm Parker. I'm
Parker from Kentucky?
From Lexington, Kentucky, yes.
What brings a Kentucky boy here to Cleveland?
I am inspired by Nina Turner's passion and dedication to fighting for the working poor and the barely middle class, the people that need help, the people that are, she's willing to challenge the Democratic establishment to get things like child tax credit, the lowering the Medicare age to lower than it is right now, raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. She's dedicated to those policies, and she is a fighter for everyone in this country, and that's why I came to support her today, or throughout this weekend.
We sure do.
She actually believes in $17 an hour now. But yes,
Yeah, we
everything
need
he
more
said.
people like that.
See, that's why y'all
Absolutely.
not gonna agree with me. Ooh, y'all not gonna.
He was saying we need more people like Parker.
Oh, I have an idea.
That
Go
was
ahead.
for Parker that gets in these videos and makes safety vest man jokes.
No, I was saying I agree with everything that young man just said.
That young man is Parker. That young man is Parker. That's Parker.
That was Parker?
That's Parker.
Hey,
That's
Parker, you're a celebrity. All right, my man. But
that's baby mafia.
That's baby mafia. That's what I'm like. No, that's Parker. No, that's literally. I'm like, oh
God. Baby mafia. That's Parker.
See, the only time I've seen Parker, he was in the car, so I didn't know he was that tall. Dude, you are tall.
Okay, I'm going to show the video one time, and I'm going to show you for a reason. I want to speak first because I just want to show one part of the video.
I want to see it again.
Do you see any other independent outlets here? No, I do not. We're here like we always are. Let me see if I can get others. Come on. What's your name?
I'm Parker. I'm
Parker from Kentucky?
From Lexington, Kentucky, yes.
What brings a Kentucky boy here to Cleveland?
I am inspired by Nina Turner's passion and dedication to fighting for the working poor and the barely middle class, the people that need help, the people that are, she's willing to challenge the Democratic establishment to get things like child tax credit, the lowering the Medicare age to lower than it is right now, raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Go ahead, Parker.
Let me say this real quick. I may have to play the video again if you don't understand what I'm saying. I want to beat that black dude's ass that kept walking past Parker. What your problem? And Parker, I'm
he's in Kentucky talking about Nina.
No, he was in Cleveland. He was in Cleveland. Parker traveled to Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you knew he was on camera. You looking back like you finna fight. I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't gonna happen. And it ain't gonna end the way you think it's gonna end. So you need to take your little 98 ass on somewhere for there's an issue.
I'm proud of you, Parker. Good job, man.
Yeah, you agree, man. It's the whole point going on why Nina ain't qualified for Congress. And I'm like, that's Parker.
What the hell is this dude's problem?
No, that wasn't what I was going to say. Remember, I think that she should be in Congress. I don't
was
see her as
president.
being a president. Yeah.
Yeah, Parker,
But
that's the point. I don't know when I'm going to do stuff.
but what I was saying, I don't think y'all agree, and I'm not going to do it now because it's late.
You
But
did so good, baby boy.
the
Sorry.
minimum wage focus, I think we got to give that one up because it's the wrong fight.
Why do you think that?
Because you're not fixing what the problem is. That's like saying that I have a leak in my faucet, so I need a bigger bucket. You didn't
You
fix the
need to
problem.
fix you need to fix the ceiling.
You got to go at corporate structure. You got to go at tax policy. You got to go at you got to go at the things that are really causing the leak. And until you do that, you can keep getting a bigger bucket all you want to. The problem's still there, and it's just going to make it easier for you to cope with the abuse that's being done to you. It's not stopping the abuse.
Yeah,
okay,
because their argument has always been, and Parker, I'm not jumping on you. I get where you was going.
This one about Parker. This is just about the minimum wage thing.
Yeah. It's about the minimum wage argument. The
he was
argument
saying basically the campaign
wage. We have
issue.
to raise the stuff. We have to raise how much this pay, how much this costs, how much this costs, how much this costs, and how much this costs.
Yeah, my brother and sister-in-law are paying that child credit back now.
Well, here's the deal. Remember, one of my statements that I started on this show was always because you're going to do it anyway. Remember, I always said that? Like, I don't want to listen to your politics because if you do this, I'm going to do this. And I always came back and said, you're going to do it anyway. So why am I staying quiet?
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked at the economy? And when you sit there and say, we can't raise the wage to $15 an hour because then we have to raise the cost of goods.
Cost of goods already going
up.
Then they raise the cost of goods.
You're doing it anyway.
Yep.
You're literally doing it right now. But
that's just it.
No reason. Don't rhyme, no reason. We just want to raise it.
No, I'm gonna tell you the truth.
No, it was as punishment for talking about doing other things.
Your way to go to California and tell everybody to hold on to every cargo container at the docks to wait for everybody who needed goods to raise the prices. So when people
it wasn't.
No, because when you say there was a shortage, and you have and the shortage that you have is on a dock in California, what was your point?
It was a manufacturer crisis to an extent. Because let's not forget, during that time was in the throes of COVID. So COVID really messed a lot of stuff up, right? So all the people who are all diehard union, understand that the docks have unions, the drivers have unions. A lot of these people that you rely on have unions, and the unions were trying to protect their employees from COVID. So there was a lot of stuff clashing against each other, and the government didn't help make it any better. So I'm with you, Marlon, and I'm not. My thing about the thing about the minimum wage thing, the point I'm trying to make as quickly as I know how, is it has to be both, but one needs to go away. Okay? So right now, because of the way capitalism works, the bottom class needs help. They've been stagnated at 7 and some change.
725.
And moving to 15 is at least something. Okay? That will help people at the bottom cope better with a broken system that will quickly catch back up and put them right back where they were. You'll just be at 15 now instead of 7 1/4. Okay. So
that was more what Nikki was saying, was that we're behind.
It's $10 too short.
Yeah, we're behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
So
but the point I'm making is
it's not going to make a difference.
No, it makes a huge difference to that person who went from 7 1/4 to 15.
Yes,
right. No matter what, that's real money. But the problem I'm having with people who are focused on the minimum wage argument is they are in my view, you are intentionally ignoring the realities of the situation. If I take my current operation and I have to now double my minimum wage, on the surface, you say that that's a good thing. But as a business owner, you have now exploded my payroll costs across my company, and you did it in a very quick manner. Whether you phase this in over 2 years, 3 years, whatever, is faster than I planned on doing it, and it's going to disrupt other things because everything is
What
priced
if
off
the
the current
government were
model.
to offer help along with that?
That
change?
is important. That's part of the discussion that's missing. You can tell the the economy that what you needed to do was say you need to move your employees to a minimum wage of $15, and the federal government is going to pay
Print
the
your money.
difference for this period of time, and then phase until you are holding the whole 15. Then the change is instant, but the impact is gradual. But instead, what happened was we threatened everybody with 15. The markets moved, charged everybody more money because they're always looking for a chance to charge people more money.
Right.
And then selectively increase wages at the companies that could afford to do it. Well, the other companies who couldn't afford to do it because they run on thinner margins, they're not big enough, whatever their issues are, they couldn't absorb it. And they either closed because they were scared, closed because they couldn't do it, closed because their people didn't want to work for them no more. There's all these things that happened, and that's because we were haphazardly going at it. I think if you want to really increase the minimum wage in a meaningful manner, you got to take into account that if I am someone who worked from 7.25 to making $20 an hour, and then you take somebody at 7.25 and you move them to 15, and I'm still sitting at $20 an hour,
I'm gonna be ticked off.
yeah, I can be happy for you, but I'm gonna be pissed because my life didn't change at all. Okay. So we have to look at, a company is going to have to look at a morale issue, which means they're going to have to start playing with the pay along the line, at least for their working, the labor group, right? Their managers are so far out of that scale, it doesn't matter. But that's still expensive. So the government should kick in and say, we're either going to help subsidize. We subsidize Exxon Mobil and all these people. We should at least subsidize the American worker. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll subsidize it so we can help get this in place. And then it becomes on you, company, to take it from there. And for those who have X amount of employees and you've raised your salary to whatever it is that we said needed to be mandated, then you qualify for a special tax break as a business.
That sounds great.
This is how you get a more wholesome thing. But instead, we were just like, just raise the bottom.
I see what you're saying.
That's not a plan. That's just my take. So
me and Theus is never gonna agree on this.
It's one part.
I don't
It's
know
something
what
I never
could you
thought
possibly
of.
take offense to what I just said.
No, don't take offense to anything that you
Not
say.
offense, but you know what I mean.
If utopia world,
And
I would
it's
agree
almost
with
1 o'clock. Can I almost say that it's 1 o'clock almost?
In a utopia world, I'll make this real short.
Midnight 30.
Because we'll take it up tomorrow. In a utopia world, I do agree with everything that Theus is saying. However, I can't deal with people, with corporations, with companies who sit there and say, we can't afford this, we can't afford that, we can't afford each and the other. Hey, let me show you my record profit earnings.
Well, Theus isn't talking about the Walmarts and Amazons of the world.
Yeah.
He's talking about.
I know you.
He's talking
And
about.
I would contest what you're saying, Marlon, is the utopian thing, because you just say absorb it, and I'm saying that's not practical. What I laid out to you is how I say increase it and how we make it work. Right? I'm giving you short term and long term to make this thing work. Just saying because you're a corporation, take your record profits and give it to your people. When you run the numbers, those numbers don't go very far. They really don't. The reason why they look so good is because they're hoarding it at the top. But once you spread that out across all their employees,
Which is what they should be
That ain't
doing.
nothing.
Because
But I'm saying those numbers only look good because it's concentrated. Like I did the math earlier today, right when I was doing my video, and what I was showing for myself, and I was like, how you tether things, watch my video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I was telling you tether all the things together. When you run those numbers out, I'm talking about everybody at the top. Marlon, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody at the top 2 tiers, that's a $5,000 annual increase on their salary. Everybody at the tiers below that, that's a $4,000, $2,500, $1,750 each across the whole company just to give the CEO a 5% raise. That's in the millions of dollars to make that happen. So when we say corporation take the profits and push it back out and still keep a profit, you break the business.
Could you repeat those numbers?
Well, the numbers is because
the tiers.
Because I was trying to be brief. But
I understand.
So what I did was I took people who make $100,000 a year, people who make $80,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $35,000 a year. What that represents is your senior leadership at the top, your middle managers, and then your labor. Okay.
Gotcha.
And then what I'm saying is, for any company that I will own, everybody is tethered together. So if I want to give the CEO a 5% raise for this example, then that means everybody below the CEO also gets a 5% raise, unless they're like they're written up and they're not qualified, right? But if they're normally qualified, like they're just doing their job, in order to raise the top guy, you got to raise everybody below so everybody shares in this thing. And if you do the numbers and you can't afford to do the 5%, then you either need to find a new number or not do it. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I believe business should be run. Because that way you're not leaving people in the dirt while you pay your CEO $3 million a year.
Or you could be like that the one CEO of the bank, the employees were complaining about not getting a bonus. She told them to suck it up, Buttercup. Found out she got a $4 million raise herself, bonus. Yeah, you could be like that person.
That's how business currently runs, right? Because what's going to happen is real quick, y'all, the annual report, what we'll hear from our company is we made $100 million in profit. And as employees, because I get that email too, and it pisses me off every time, because my money ain't moved, but you talking about record profit.
Yeah, right? They move not and penny.
But if they take that record profit and whatever math they want to use, and they break that across every employee in the company, then everybody ain't getting much money off of this. Because what does the profit actually have to do? Like, I didn't go into it in this video that I made, but if I run all my numbers and I do my earnings before interest and taxes and all that stuff, and I work out my profit, then I'm going to take that profit. I'm not going to take 100% of that profit and break it across the employees, because then we'll go out of business. What I have to do is say, well, whatever the number comes out is, as far as our annual profit, 25% of that is now set aside for a performance, I call it profit sharing for all my employees. So that 25% or 75% stays with the company to do whatever the company needs to do for growth and operations and all that good stuff. The other 25%, I don't care what your position is, I'm going to break it across my entire employee roster, and everybody gets a fair cut.
There's an alternative. They could buy you pizza for lunch,
which is the normal process.
Yeah, that's the normal.
This is the thing, right? But that's why I love when I worked for a prior company. I'm not going to name who they are, but they're a mutual company. So every year, as an employee of this company, we got a profit sharing check. One year, my profit sharing check was $10,000. As a regular dude, like way down here, all right, I got 10 grand for profit sharing. That's how I bought my wife's engagement ring. Okay. But that is the kind of thing that I like, because if you do a profit sharing plan, regardless of your salary and your income and all that stuff, like you're gonna do that. That's based on performance and a bunch of other crap. But profit sharing, this means you do your job well and you make this company make more money, you get money. That's the most rewarding thing. That's how you get people engaged.
Or you can buy them T-shirts.
Yeah, I've had that happen too.
Yeah.
I mean, some company, I'm like, y'all joking, right? I'd rather you not do anything. Just give me a Christmas card, because you ain't doing nothing. You really not.
Right, but profit sharing.
I like your theory better than mine.
No, I agree
but I
with
love
everything
profit
that Thieves
sharing.
is saying, but I also agree with everything that Tracy is saying.
And just the difference of money in the tiers. That I guess it's what I was wanting to share again. The disparity between the payment to the top and just how it.
Okay, that's just based on the percentages. So
I get
I'm
it.
basically, because everybody's getting 5%. So whatever the CEO increase is going to be, that exact same percentage at everything below. So if you only make $30,000 a year, you're getting 5% of 30,000. You ain't
right.
You're not getting what he got.
5% of 26 million.
It did really hit, and
or you can give him a coffee mug and some M&Ms.
Oh,
Because he didn't take a day off of work the whole time he worked there. But hey,
in a clear book
that's only if you make it 10 years, Tracy. You got to make it 10 years to get the mug.
Oh yeah, that's right.
A clear book bag and one movie.
A movie ticket, one. In the
and
afternoon.
if you work for us for 5 years, you get 2 more days extra on your vacation time.
Sure do, but you can't take them because they always taking. Somehow you never get them off.
Wow, my caregiver gets like her union fights hard for like she was the first one to get $15 minimum wage.
Anna, you can stop.
She got to take off her holidays. Like they're serious.
Oh no, and it's not that you're not allowed to take the time.
Yeah, you just can't get
it. The time, you'll get punished for it in some way. Like if I take more than 2 days off, my workload when I come back, ridiculous. Right? Or if you work in a service level, they just won't give you the days off. They'll all be blackout days. You can't get the day off.
I'll give you an example without even giving away the company. We have wellness days. They will give you a day for your wellness day.
Okay.
You can go and do whatever that you want to do between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Sounds good.
Can't do a Friday. Can't do a Monday.
Can't do a Monday. You can't do a Friday.
Sure can't.
You can use a PTO for those days, and they almost always say no.
No, actually, no. You're right. You're right.
Because it's first come, first serve.
Yep, and then somebody just happened to get in front of you again.
And tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, y'all broke my brain tonight. BoreliaEtc.com. All the things are in there.
Tracy?
You can find me this Tuesday on The Tracy Show as I count down the 5 worst and 5 best cereals on my website, TracyMediaLLC.com, where you will see all my feature videos.
Your website's looking really good, by the way. I like it. Yes, you too.
Oh, thank you. Hey guys, please, this month I just really want to run up the traffic for BoreliaEtc.com. Go check that out. This is Awareness Month, so get the clicks, get the traffic. Go do that. My website is ComplexSimpleMan.com. Videos aren't always up to date there because most of the videos I've been putting out are Patreon videos. So if you want to help support the work that we're doing with the school clinic and the children, then I need you to go to patreon.com/complexmind. Go there. You'll see my videos. You get a free trial, all that good stuff. See what's there. Kick the tires. Join if you will, if you want.
And subscribe to Marla's page.
Let me say this real quick. When I tell you to go to BorelliEtc.com, this really is a life and death situation. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. At the very least, it's a health situation. Summer is coming. Insects are out. They're not playing. So you really need to go. When I say learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should, I'm serious. You never paid attention to it until it happens to you and it changes your life for the rest of your life. So you really do need to go to BorelliEtc.com. As for Thea's,
thank you, man.
One of the best videos that this dude ever did was his finance business, his finance advice, and oh my God, if you ain't got hooked onto those things, I don't know what to tell you. Those things are phenomenal and again can change your life. Tracy is doing videos, and I know I pick on certain people that Tracy puts on the show. Honestly, I can name 3. That's 3 out of 7, 8, 9. I mean, seriously, there is at least 7, 8 people who literally need to be in Congress, the Senate, or the White House. Like, for real. Okay, the White House went too far, but they need to be in government. So,
no, I kid.
But Tracy is not playing, not joking, and she has turned down people who try to...
No. People have turned me down. I haven't turned down anyone.
Well, Tracy has turned down people. People have turned down Tracy because they try to strong arm her into...
You will ask me certain questions, not...
ask me certain questions. That ain't Tracy.
No.
That ain't this show.
That's gonna fly.
Either you're gonna be real or go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Period.
Also, with Tracy, because she doesn't like to talk about her stuff, she talks about her stuff, but she doesn't really get into it.
Right.
You got the Tuesday show, which is really dope because that's where she interviews the third-party candidates.
When they come
and she
on.
needs, hey, if y'all know somebody, put them up, man. Let's get some
Please, yeah.
going.
Real.
Right? But she also does other things. And Tracy, I don't know the name of all the shows, but she does stuff where she's talking about just political things. She talks about the process of going through buying a house. She talks about the process. She talks about creatives. Like, she's all into theater and stuff. I know Showbiz, whatever that is, horrible show. But she likes it. But she talks about all these things. She has a full-on channel, folks.
It is incredible.
I'm saying, just tune in, check it out. And you already know, I mean, I can't say much about Marlon or he'll turn off my camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marlon the mastermind.
Thank you. And please do not forget to go to Flip Flops and Bermuda Shorts whenever that comes out in August.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Kulaks and G-strings.
Yuck.
Sunday shoes and moo-moos.
I could go for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. We will see you all tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for Radical Truth to Power. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
What if Marjorie Taylor Greene and Ted Cruz had a love child?
It'd be Donald Trump.
Oh.